Hello and welcome to Season 13 Division 4B recap Gman and words in not necessarily the right order, but that'll do. And
Week 7.
hello, say hello, Spoon.
Hello, Spoon.
Yay! And also say hello, Supra, our special guest.
Hello, Supra.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, is it all right? Is Supra the right name to call you?
Yeah.
Is that is that a handle you expected to be called in real life? You know.
Not to be honest. No, I haven't really been called it a lot.
Yeah.
The handle that I've been called a lot is my my original Eve character's name. But because I used to play Eve a lot. But no, not really Supra so much. I have actually. Never mind. I get called Supra on the recaps, on the 4A recaps. So.
So clearly, you have to tell us what your Eve, handle is, in case
Oh, come on.
There's some. Are you Eve famous? That's the question.
No, not at.
Yeah, I've used Cornite for everything on the internet for about 10 years, over 10 years now.
I've used Super 728. I wasn't able to get Super originally. I have got it on some things. Since I first played RuneScape in like 2007, so it's a while, and I didn't really have a handle before then, so.
Makes sense.
Yeah, cool. And so, how long have you been playing Blood Bowl for?
Not that long actually. I've not played before Blood Bowl 2, but I also played tabletop. Like I've played a lot of Blood Bowl 2, and I played quite a lot of tabletop as well. It's like since New Blood Bowl, basically. I've also been playing vampires on tabletop, so.
Ah, okay. Is that because have you played? How do I put this? Is vampires your team? Do you play a lot of teams, and you just you've got round to vampires now, or is that
Don't know. Like I have played other teams. It's just I decided to go with vampires in Rebel, and I also bought vampires on tabletop at the same time. Like the first team I ever played Blood Bowl with was Lizardmen. Which was pretty fun. It was just in my university league.
Ah, that's cool. So how you have you been doing well with vampires in your tabletop league as well?
Yes, a lot better than I do here.
Are they less developed on your tabletop league? Because have you played less games with them? Or
yes, they are less. They are less developed.
Because I find vamps so much better the more developed they get.
I think. Well, I mean, the standard of Rebel skill is a lot higher than the standard of my local league.
Yeah, there is that too.
I think my record with vamps is like, I can't remember. I would be able to actually. I'll hang on 1 second. I'll go and get my game sheet and tell you what my score is.
Yeah. So, and thanks. I am the True Blue for raiding with his party of 5. I don't know if any of them are still there. I saw Blue was still in the chat a little while ago.
There's still some people.
Yeah, there are still people. It's fine.
It's all good.
Yeah. So yeah, I have actually. All right, go on. Yep, you're back.
Let's see. Let's count it up. So. So I'm at 10 wins, 3 draws, and 1 loss.
That's very good.
Yeah, that's mad.
Do you mind if I ask whereabouts your tabletop league is?
Well, it's not a very big league. It's just in my town in Maidenhead.
Ah, okay, you're Maidenhead. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't. So my tabletop team is a lot worse than my Rebel team as well. Like I have no doubles and no stats.
Wow.
Whereas your vampires have 3+. Wait, did you have? That's new, isn't it? I've just given away a spoiler alert.
Spoilers
No, not
again.
spoilers.
The second week in a row.
Wait,
Ah,
it says Agi. It shows a double Agi up, but it only shows a 5 on his Agi. That's weird.
on Rebel.net,
It doesn't for
it takes
me.
a little while
Oh,
to load
on
up.
Rebel.net.
On Rebel.net, yeah. Oh, I assume in game it'll be fine. In fact, I can do that.
It is fine in game, yeah.
Yep.
I'd feel a bit scammed if it was fine. I'm paying
Harsh.
100k for that shit. No, almost.
But yeah, Agi 6 is just cheating completely. I've got an Agi 6 gutter runner in my UK BBL team, and it's kind of sick, With
I need a
Vamps.
strength 5 thrall now as well.
I like the fact you need the thrall to be strength 5. No, you don't want plus strength on any of the vampires, just the thrall.
Nah, they're agi. They're all for agi.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Yeah, cool. So, shall we start then? Oh yeah.
Cool,
So,
I've got one
you
final
played
question.
Lizards and Vamps. Are they your 2 main tabletop teams? Have you been to many tournaments and stuff as well, or?
No, I've not played a single tournament actually.
Ah, okay.
Just played casual games in League and Rebel. Rebel's the only tournament I've ever
The
played.
anti-casual.
Yeah. What miniatures are you using for your vampire team?
I am using Succubus Studio vampires.
Ah, those ones.
Are they the
Fair enough.
semi-naked women ones?
They're not naked. They're very armored.
They're very armored.
But-
Okay.
In certain places,
There's-
but not others.
No, they're armored like pretty much all over. Yeah,
Ah, right.
They've got booby armor and
I might be thinking
everything.
the wrong
they
one.
do have boob plate. Yes.
If I remember, like when you say succubus, like I'm pretty sure all of them
It's all of them are
a female and
female
and
ladies
busty.
teams, but it was basically the only high quality vampire team I could find. Like all the others were like kind of.
I just googled succubus
Uh.
vampire, and I think what I'm coming up with is not Blood Bowl related. So let's.
Yeah, well, it's not
No.
spelled. It's spelled SUKU instead of SUCCU.
Cool.
We good sharing the? No, I'm not gonna bother sharing the link.
I'm
Yeah.
I can Google. There we go. Oops. and then-
Yeah, my painting skills are atrocious, so I'm not going to show them off. But
Oh, there are males in there as well. There
are males.
Oh, there's a male.
there is a
Day
male,
mail. Yeah,
which is I think the
it's Luther, isn't it?
Luther model.
yeah.
I have it.
I noticed one of the female vampires is biting a cheerleader.
That's well, I don't use that one. It's I use that as my cheerleader model.
Yeah.
Or coach, maybe.
Or coach, yeah.
But okay, yeah. No, for succubus miniatures, they're less booby-esque than I was expecting. I must admit. Like I'm sure they do a bunny team, I think, where it's like they're all Playboy bunny style or something.
Oh God.
Do they? I've not seen that.
Yeah, something.
I
like
mainly
that.
just looked at the vampires, and I think I looked at the dark elves, and that was about it. No, there are not very many vampire teams you can buy. To be
No,
honest.
they.
there's not.
I do have the Games Workshop ones because they did when they re-released Blood Bowl. They did like 3rd edition.
Yeah, they did a limited time thing.
Yeah,
right?
so
But I wasn't there for that, so.
I basically got all of them. So I'm a little bit of a collect. I'm more of a collector than I am a painter. Let's say.
Yeah, well, so am I.
Yeah.
The grey. I mean, I'm a collector. I collect and I play. I don't like painting very much.
Yeah.
But my vampire team is painted. It's got it's got 3 colours and a little bit of shading.
And grass on the pitch, or
No, I haven't got that. No.
Okay.
I was going to put snow on the pitch actually.
So I started going to tabletop because of UK BBL. UK BBL have like do a tabletop tournament in a hotel, so all the kind of BB2 players get together in a hotel for a weekend, and
That sounds quite
the
cool.
other commissioners basically take the piss out of me until I painted more than 2 colours on. Because basically I painted them blue and then highlighted them. That was the extent of my painting for my first team. And, yeah. Anyway, I'm a collector. I have every team except for like 2 now, I think.
Have you painted them all?
And I've painted one of them.
I was thinking about buying the ogre team actually.
I've got the ogre
I
team.
mean,
I really like them.
I've got ogres enough to play a team, but I don't have the Games Workshop ogres. So I've done a few, what they called Kickstarters, and I've done a few, and I bought a few of the Games Workshop ones, and I bought a few so a bit of a mixture of everything. But anyway, like whenever there's an argument about which is better, whether it's better to have like a second, or what they called, third party, where they give you 16 miniatures that are all individual, or having to buy 2 boxes of Games Workshop, which is usually cheaper. Like I'm like, both work for me. I kind of like either, as long as I like the miniatures. I like the miniatures.
Yeah.
The Games Workshop ogres aren't too bad for that, because you can buy that booster pack, which gives you 2 more completely distinct ogres as well.
But the booster pack is like the same price as another box of ogres, right? So why not just have...
Oh, it's more expensive than that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather just, buy a second box and then take a scalpel to some of them until they look different.
Oh, but the other ones, it's the 2 female ogres. It's the blister pack, and they look really cool.
Oh, if they look really cool.
Plastic?
No,
they're metal.
No, they're not metal. They're what's the
resin?
Resin.
Fine colours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the booster packs all come from what's the
Forge World.
Forge World, yeah. Hence being like 3 times as expensive and.
Yeah, they're 30 quid for 2 ogres and 1 snotlin.
Ah, you see. I wonder if you can get those on AliExpress, probably.
Almost certainly.
Okay.
Some things you can't. I was looking the other day just out of curiosity because I play a bunch of armies, but I was looking at Eldar stuff on AliExpress, seeing what you could get, and the only Revenant Titan they do is not Revenant Titan. Yeah, Revenant Titan. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The only one they do is one with Sonic Lances. I was like, if I was going to buy one, I'd buy the one with Pulsars because it's better. Yeah.
I must admit, I've not played
haven't
40k
played
for.
40k for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the model's still the same. You
Yeah.
probably played when the Revenant Titan was still around, so it's just.
No. There were no Titans when I last played. I mean,
What, in Forge World?
I mean, there was Adeptus Titanicus as a separate game, but that you couldn't have Titans in 40k.
Yeah, as part.
But
of
it was Forge World in Apocalypse.
Yeah, that would be after I
Yeah,
last
that
played.
was way after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in fact, I've still got a few points of Khorne 40k models lying around. But yeah, I used to have a massive Khorne army. But yeah, again, before there were Titans in 40k.
20 years
it's
ago
pretty
that
cool.
I last played it. A
Yeah.
lot.
It is easy to get into now, like the rules wise. It's not super obfuscated and complicated.
Do you remember do you know what edition they're on?
8 system. That is.
Okay, I last played 3.
Yeah. I first played.
3 was the really complicated one.
No,
wasn't it?
3 was when it got simpler.
Was
Oh,
3
was
or was it
4?
2
Simplified.
where you could buy cardboard tanks? Was that?
That'd be 2 or 1.
That was 2.
Or 1 or Rogue Trader
2.
basically.
I think it was. Yeah. I don't know.
Saying
Anyway,
that, I think
I've
it was
only
2
heard
that
about
you
it.
got the cardboard dreadnought in it, in the box, with your boys.
Yeah, no, there were some weird cardboardy things.
Yep.
But yeah. I first played. Well, when 5th edition was just out, like it just came out just before I started playing.
Oh, I think I played some 2nd and then some 3rd. The 3rd was the one where they simplified it a lot.
Yeah, or it might have been that I played like 3rd more, and then 4th was one when it became simplified. I can't remember, but
yeah,
around
whichever
then.
way it was.
Yeah. Anyway, should we start the actual recap? People don't. I'm not sure if people.
Who needs to do that? Let's just do a show talking about random stuff.
Have you not?
That's what my
recaps.
That's basically what we do anyway. Yeah. Try and steer us back
like,
every half an hour. I try and bring us back on into some kind of semblance of normality.
Sounds about right. I do it every other team, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, but so I have actually got clips of all the games which may be hard for you to watch, but I'll describe what happens as soon as I remember what the hell's actually happening. Oh, for fuck's sake! And that's the stupid Rebel logo died again. Why does it do that? What?
Don't know. Bit weird.
It was working before. Yesterday I did a show about the OCC and I accidentally clicked on this scene and the Rebel logo was working fine then. Anyway, alright, fine.
It always works when you don't want it to.
Yeah, exactly. Oh look, it's spinning around like the OCC one isn't. Anyway. Alright, so
we're going to talk about Malekith's Kink versus the Bootleg All-Stars.
Is that the first game? Okay.
Yep.
Then, oh, is that the Goblin one?
Yeah, it's Goblins versus Dark Elves.
There were so many dice that were... Well, where do I start? So, I am actually... The clip has started after the point at which the Goblins have kind of potatoed. But they were really unlucky with ball pickup. Like, their first drive... Their first turn, the Goblins failed the... 1 in 9 is the ball pickup. Dark Elves ran forward, and the Goblins failed their next ball pickup, and then just about got it away. Used then another reroll to get it to actually pick it up, and then get into a cage. And it was kind of the Dark Elves were putting pressure on the Goblins, let's say, but also not quite enough. So they knocked the ball down once on like turn 2 or 3, but other than that. They weren't very lucky up until the point where the Goblins had to potato like this, as you can see.
Yeah, potatoing is always the... Sorry?
I think Dimmy's saying something to Supra as well, because he can't be talking to anyone else that's on this.
No, he's talking to me. Yeah, fine.
I was going to say...
But yeah, essentially, so the after the potato gets sacked, he then tries to hit back, and it's just a 1 dice, and it's a straight skull. And he's already used this reroll earlier, so essentially that was the point. The Dark Elves get the ball away. Oh, Dimmy said, "Oh, sorry, wrong chat."
That's
was that supposed to be a DM to
sense.
me? Was it, Dimmy? Actually, Dimmy's not massively far away from Maidenhead. Is Hastings close to Maidenhead? Not really.
Not really. It's probably like a couple of hours.
Aren't they?
They're both south somewhere. I mean,
They are both south, sure, but
I'm
Hastings
south.
is like right down by the south coast. Maidenhead's not.
I'm south, and you're both further south. Is the way that I'd look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, where do you?
I'm Wimbledon, so southwest London.
Isn't that further south than Maidenhead?
It might be. I realised that when you were saying.
I'm pretty sure it is.
When you were saying Hastings is far away, I was like,
Maidenhead's
oh.
on the M4.
Yeah. I mean, wait.
Hang on. What? They've moved Maidenhead.
I thought
No, they
Maidenhead.
haven't. There's 2 towns. There's one called Minehead and one called
not-
Maidenhead. Minehead is in Somerset.
Oh, I know. I'm thinking about Maidstone.
Maidstone. There
That
you go.
might be what I'm thinking of.
Maidenhead is like in between Windsor and Reading.
Oh, okay. Cool. So not very. No, actually pretty close to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I probably went pretty close to you today because I went into London to have an exam.
Ah.
Extremely close to Slough.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a claim to fame.
But we don't talk about that. We talk about Windsor and Reading.
What?
It's closer to Slough though.
It is.
Well,
but
surely
that's just-
Slough's more famous since The Office, right? Is that a
Yeah.
thing? Oh, DBG works in Maidstone. There we are. See, that's why I thought you were close to each other.
Uh,
But no, Maidenhead, not Maidstone.
uh,
Okay,
different
there we
places.
go. See, I wasn't that mental. I was just thinking about the wrong maid place. Anyway, all right, fine. Let's get back on back on track. Well,
Division 5. This is Division 4.
Yeah.
How is a 1950 team in Division 5?
yeah,
We're
it's
in-
not. We're 4B.
4B.
Did I type the wrong? Did I type the wrong number?
No.
No. Okay, good. Yeah, 4.
Before.
Oh, hello, LOL Skater as well, by the way. And yeah, you can get demoted from 3 into into 4. So teams could be around forever and could.
I just never went up, and my team value is just massive.
Yeah.
We've got a dwarf team like that in our division, and it's Div 4.
Like, I can't click on any of the games
5
for some
seasons.
reason.
You can't click on any of the games.
Like oh, my client's crashed. That's why.
That would do it.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm showing another clip while we were talking, and essentially all that's really happened is it's another example of the goblins one in nining a pickup again. This is after the Dark Elves scored. They returned and scored at the end of the second half, so they got 1-0 up at the half, and then received the ball and scored really quickly again. So the Goblins were receiving around turn 12 and they're already 2-0 down. And more examples of Dark Elves putting pressure on the poor little Goblins. And also the Dark Elves rolling lots of dice, and we're about to see the Dark Elves running a play. Whoa! Hi Toby as well. And Spoon, yeah. Oh, you said there were some horrible teams. The thing is, right? Oh, LOL Skater followed me. Thank you for the follow, LOL Skater. So yeah, the Dark Elves pick up in the tackle zone of the what's the word? The Pogoa. So essentially, the Dark Elves are on for scoring their 3rd touchdown in this clip. So yeah, what was I saying? The Dark.
Something about.
I should actually have my notes up for this rather than just making weird noises every so often.
2110 Nurgle. Damn.
Oh yeah, them.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. If you want to, like, this happens in every league, right? There's always teams who go down. So there's always a point where there's a high TV team that are in the lower divisions, and they're usually coached by someone who's not that good.
So what are you saying?
Because that's what happens, Well, so vampires are kind of like, it's not you that's bad, it's the team that's bad, especially at the beginning. And once they start to level up more, then winning with them becomes easier and easier, right?
Yeah. I have been doing a lot better this season than I had last season or the season before.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm playing Vamps in Twitch Blood Bowl League, and my first, as far as I was concerned, the first 2 or 3 seasons were just trying to level vampires and not get anyone killed.
Yeah.
Until the team gets useful.
It was fun. I was talking about my tabletop team earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The game I lost was my first game where I was playing Fresh Chaos and I was Fresh Vampires. The Chaos killed a vampire and moved down 2 thralls. That was why I lost. They had basically no players left at the end. They had 0 Mighty Blow because they didn't even have a Minotaur, but they just managed to absolutely smash me.
It's just one of those things that happens with any team eventually.
Yeah.
He actually, so the Dark Elves do something in this touchdown where they one-die the wrong goblin. Like, they could have one-died one goblin and made the run in for the touchdown easier, but instead they don't, and it was silly. Oh no, that's next game. What? Yeah,
What's going on?
No, nothing. That's fine. So that was that. There were 2 clips of the goblins, and I actually found it really hard to find interesting clips of for the Goblin Dark Elf game. Like, things happened, but it was not edge of the seat stuff. I guess partly because it's goblins, and you kind of expect them to get mullered,
Once
right?
they start going wrong, they just go wrong.
I just noticed they both teams had the exact same sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Exact same ball possession. They both had 37%. They both had 18% in their own half, and they both had 18% in their opponent's half.
Yeah, that's weird. I guess partly because the goblins potatoed, and the Dark Elves scored almost as soon as they crossed pretty quickly, both every time.
Yeah, that could do it.
But yeah, No permanent damage to anyone though, and a couple of Dark Elf level ups. So it's not not terrible.
The goblins actually had more removals than the Dark Elves.
Yeah, like except for the fact
More
that
injuries, but removals.
removal they caused more removals, but also because the Dark Elves were scoring so much, the bribes got used up at half time. So every touchdown after that was another player getting sent off who had secret weapon. So obviously that has an effect too. And
also the Dark Elves rolled 5 out of 6 successful wake up rolls after KO. I assume they didn't have any they didn't have babes, so.
In fact, I can tell you. No, they didn't have any babes because the goblins had bribes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. 5 out of 6 on 4+.
Yeah. But there are 2 levels with the Dark Elves, as we normally do. One is the plus movement Blodge Blitzer, who scored 2 touchdowns and got MVP to level up. And what do you give a Blodge movement 8 Blitzer? I guess sure feet, sprint.
Maybe.
Or do you stick?
Although you could also go to tackle.
Yeah.
Or do you stick with? You could also stick with the sidestepping blodging plan.
Yeah.
You could. I just don't like that he hasn't got any tackle on the team at the moment.
Well.
I thought I'd moved the OBS screen over to the Rebel net page, but I actually hadn't. So sorry about that. Anyway.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. At some point, Anyway, so I'm actually going to move back to blah blah. Where are we?
It's safe there.
It's safe there.
Well.
So the other one, I'm guessing, just gets dodge.
Yeah, because it's got.
Which one was this?
Oh.
Just the normal blitzer.
Okay.
So the normal blitzer got a double.
Ooh. Mighty blow.
Yep. So this team now has 2 mighty blowers, one blow witch elf and 1 blitzer.
I think with him having, oh no, he's got mighty blow on a wrestle witch elf.
Yeah, it's a wrestle witch elf.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with the mighty blow on that. He just probably needs to fire that witch at some point.
No, I like the choice of like, do I hit with frenzy or do I hit without frenzy? So if there's only frenzy traps available, you hit with the blitzer, and if you want follow-up blocks, you hit with witch elf.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's not too bad to have mighty blow and wrestle. To be honest, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Super fun.
And he has gone for the blodge step spam even on the plus movement blitzer. But I guess sidestep works for one turn too though.
You can get sprint sure feet after this.
Yeah. I'm sure that was the wrong chat, Demi. I know your type.
Whose babies do you want? That's the question. It's Spoon's babies.
Spoon's babies.
No, nobody wants them. I don't want them, so yeah, no one else.
And nothing permanent for the goblins, so that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So the next game was.
We can actually go back to the admin game. Grinch has just had the admin game done.
Ooh. Does that mean they're about to roll it and everything?
They have rolled it. It's
and
rolled.
I put the predictions through.
Awesome. So wait a second. So Grinch. Oh, so yeah, Disco Dave's here, and
Yep. Or actually, has he not taken it? He won't have taken his levels yet.
No, but we can
take your levels, Dave.
He hasn't.
Well, he's literally just got them. You can't tell him off for taking his levels when he's.
He's got a blitzer level and a lineman level. Both of them.
I'm telling him off. I'm telling him to take them.
Okay.
Slightly different.
All right, good. Yeah, fine. You are technically correct.
The best kind of correct.
Oh, and you've done the prediction thing? You're all on your own. That's very impressive.
I do it in the other division. I just didn't realise that you didn't need admin rights.
Oh no, yeah. So the schedule command, anything that begins with S is not an admin command, so anyone can run it. Yeah. Cool.
Okay. He's got a rookie blitzer level and a rookie lineman level.
So he needs guard so that blitzer should get guard, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of needs.
He's only got 2.
He's got 2 guard, but they're both Black Orcs, whereas the Blitzer
Yeah.
gets a bit more, movement around.
Yeah, and he can dodge if you need.
Yeah, and a dirty
Really
player,
need him to.
dirty player lineman.
Yes.
I like the idea of the
Or possibly kick. I don't know. Orcs probably prefer dirty player over kick, but
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even bother with kick on Orcs at all. Like,
So Dave said we're correct. He's getting guard.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
Assuming there's nothing more exciting like a double or a stat.
yeah.
Dave player seems good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was saying, kick was only a vague suggestion.
Kick's really good when you're a fast team, but when vampires are not fast, but they can get past people really well.
He does have 2 agility 4 players, and he could just kick it.
And he does
short
have
to
he
get
has a
fight
movement
going
7
on.
blitzer as well.
Mm.
So
But
and the reason you want kick on a bash team is so you get them closer to you. You force them to be closer to you.
Yeah. And he's got loads of
I
money,
don't-
so he could buy something interesting as well.
Yeah.
Not
He's
so
got-
don't
he's
know
got
whether
block
I'd go for
troll.
it as the
I didn't even
first
realise.
skill on the lineman. I think
So-
I'd rather get them either block or something, and then pick kick as the second one.
Yeah, true. Or a wrestler.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Having a
Or a wrestler.
wrestler lineman when no one else.
Yeah. No one else on Orcs is going to take it, so
Okay. And next week sorry, we don't need to do that. So I was the only person who got the admin score wrong.
Well done. Congrats.
On purpose, obviously. Well, we're not counting that.
No, we're not.
We're not. And so for the Malekith Kink against the Bootleg All Stars, I actually went for a draw because I thought Flying Turtle's been playing really well and just thought now was the time to do that.
I went for a goblin win because I wanted to see goblins win.
True. I went for the Dark Elves because I thought they were going to win.
Because you knew you were going to be on, so you didn't want to shame yourself when you were. Yeah. No?
I didn't know I was going to be on. I voted before I volunteered.
I was gonna say the rest of us have shamed ourselves on it before.
Yeah. I'm not like changing my votes or something to make myself right.
Yeah.
That's fair. That would be the worst shame rule.
Yeah.
True, it would.
Sorry. Who was it? It was Supra and Disco Dave. Okay.
There you go.
I love how close this is though. That's no
What are the
one's
scores at?
really running away with it. All right. Updated. Boom.
Most people are at like between 13 and 9.
Yeah, so Flying Turtle is doing as well is doing Goblin well at his predictions because he's on 6. But it might be that he missed out a few weeks. I can't remember. Kamazin was on 9.
I missed the first week of predictions.
Yeah, I have a feeling that. Did everyone miss? Did a lot of people miss the first week?
I think we
no, I
all
think-
missed the first week, didn't we?
No,
I
the
think
first
we
week
only
there's
started
quite a
with
few
2.
votes there.
Oh, okay.
There's quite.
Ah,
The first
fair
week,
enough.
the first week that's in the predictions channel. There's quite a few votes. I
yeah.
just didn't make it.
Oh, so you're second with 12 behind Mr. Mojo and XCam, despite having a week less, is what you're saying, obviously.
I mean, I can't even see the scores, so
Yeah.
I didn't
So-
know I was in second.
XCam and Mojo are on 13. You're on 12.
There you go.
Spoon, Rob Top, and Disco Dave are all on 11, and I'm on 10. But I think I did well this week. I think I'm going to bring it back, so it's going to be fun.
I think you're going to draw a level with me. I'm not sure whether that's constituted as well.
Okay,
So-
fine. You never know. Oh my god. Okay, fine. All right. So we're moving on to the next one.
Other Dark Elves.
The other Dark Elves. Yes, the other Dark Elves against a kind of a more Kislev, a better team than
Not
Goblins.
Kislev.
And the game starts with the Dark Elves getting a blitz and it being quite short. I should add, it's a wizard stadium, so both sides have a wizard, and
Nice.
so Mr. Mojo Rising has used his extra money to get Hemlock and a bribe, I think. And the Dark Elves use their blitz to blitz Hemlock because he's kind of the best option for getting through to where the ball is. But they just roll pushes and he sidesteps even more into the way than he was before. So You know, it's a blitz where it's one of the few times where you see a blitz and the elves just go, "Oh, all right, fine, then we'll stay on this side of the LOS," and actually dodge away and then kind of move around a bit, but it makes actually very little difference.
Yeah, I think Mojo was fairly well set up against the blitz.
Yeah, he was set up wide. He only had 3 players to do the hits on the LOS. 4
The
players, I
lineman
guess,
in the
actually.
middle could have been punched possibly to get him out of the way.
Yeah, and that would have meant it would have been a slightly better dodge. Yeah, you're right. That would have been better.
To run in, but yeah, I can understand not wanting the stab guy knocking around.
Yeah, and like it's a good chance to hit a stunty player as well as him being stabbed.
Yeah,
But the fact he sidestep stopped that. But
and he's got block. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, he's blodge step.
Yeah.
And he has stab with no.
And jump up.
Yeah.
He also has jump.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he stabs everyone who's next to him on a 2+. It was fun in the game I played. He also took him Hemlock in the game against me, and this was where he got a blitz and caught the ball because he successfully stabbed a vampire with Hemlock.
Amazing.
I wouldn't put it past Cyanide to accidentally give all the stabbers the +1 that Zara's got. But anyway, sorry. So the video's going, and part of the reason I chose this clip at the beginning is not the blitz, but the way.
Fireball.
Well, it's not just the fireball. So the fireball is the thing in the end. But even if he hadn't used the fireball, the way that Mr. Mojo Rising set up his kind of cage, like it was slightly based, and if the based player was hit out of the way, he would have the Dark Elves would have got a hit on the ball anyway. The fact he used his wizard, he didn't need to use his wizard. He could have just made a gap and hit the ball carrier anyway. And
kept hold of it for a threat for later.
Yeah, exactly. As it is, it gets the bear down, which is kind of nice, and stuns a blitzer, but doesn't do much else. So I feel like it's a kind of wasted blitz. And he does he then goes in and tries to get sidestepping diving tackle on a Kislev catcher, which I hate to tell you, with leap kind of DT's not that useful.
No.
But then this is like a game where both teams were trying to play as loosely as possible. They're both doing things where if there's a 1 in 36 at any moment, both teams are screwed in these early exchanges. The Kislev do some risky stuff, including a pass to a player who's clearly out in the open, which is after a leap, which could have used up the reroll. Some fairly dodgy play that wasn't punished.
Yeah.
Where does this stop though?
I still don't really like the fireball when he's playing.
Failing the 1 in 36 is the bane of just vampire teams in general.
Yeah, and well, in fact,
so many dice.
I mean, you have so many opportunities to roll a 1 in 36. That's the trouble.
Yeah. Mostly it happens on Bloodlust that you really didn't want to do. You had to reroll it. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I've lost the game as vampires because of that.
Yeah, or you don't. Yeah, wait, is your team taking wrestle on a vampire? Wait, someone's taking wrestle.
Not on a vampire. No, I haven't got vampire wrestle.
There's a vampire team somewhere where I'm recapping, and they have a wrestle vampire, and it's like if you bloodlust and you wrestle yourself down, you go off the pitch. You do know that, right?
Surely it's not Random Boy.
No, it's not Random Boy. No, that would be
fair enough. I was going to say surely not.
I think it's in OCC. I've got 2 OCC vampire teams in tier 2. And I
didn't think about OCC.
OCC has a lot of vampire teams, and they seem to all play in a very similar way, which is just forget Bloodlust exists and just play as if you've just got some strength 4 players who wander around, because they've it's like having played against it as well, it's really hard when it's great. I mean, it must work out really badly for them occasionally, but a lot of the
Yeah.
time, it just bloodlust isn't a problem, so it's fine, and they wander around being strength 4 and being a pain in the butt. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the frog's potato after that, but then get hit, and the Dark Elves get the ball and score, but the combination of the bribe and more mighty blow for the Kislev, and the Dark Elves kind of maybe being a bit into contact, and also the fact the Dark Elves only have 11 players, whereas the Kislev have 12 or 13, means that attrition starts to take hold, and oh wait,
No, the Kislev only have they have 12 players.
they have 12 because of Hemlock,
Yeah.
right?
No, 13 including Hemlock.
13 including
If they
Hemlock.
haven't bought anyone new since last game.
Yeah, so they had 13 with Hemlock and the bribes. So they're fouling too, and
They do have a dirty player.
they do have a dirty player, and the dirty player didn't leave the pitch in the first half despite regular fouls. So I think they used the bribe around turn 6, but obviously didn't stop fouling at that point.
Yeah, the Kislev only got 1 casualty star player point. Well, 2 points from it.
Oh
Only
yeah, I see what
caused
you mean.
1 Kaz there.
Mhm.
So the rest must have been either coming from stabs or stamps.
Or just Dark Elves falling over, possibly.
That as well, yeah.
Dodges, and yeah. There was just another
Cheers.
clip from that early bit of the game where it was, just who can roll the worst dice, basically.
I hate those.
What's going on here? So yeah, here's turn 8. What the fuck? So the Dark Elves scored turn 7.
Yep.
There are 3 Dark Elves out at this point. The Kislev fail at their attempt at a 1 turn, and to get a hit, the Dark Elves make a GFI with no reroll, and fail the GFI into Kazing their killer on turn 8 with no Apo and no.
Yeah,
reroll.
but is this the Witch Elf who's MNG'd?
No,
it's not. Sorry.
It's the Mighty Blow piling on.
Oh yeah.
Blitzer.
He's
So
nasty.
Not
yeah.
great.
And also, the Kislev still have a reroll at this point. So they're 1 touchdown down on their drive. But obviously, they go on. And wait a second, there's another clip here. Of the Dark Elves throwing to... So this is on the Dark Elves half. They've got 7 players left. And so, obviously, they're trying to rush. And in their rushing, they throw the ball to a player who's in diving tackle and try and dodge out. And it's a 1 in 9. Which it's kind of, I guess.
Oh, was it an Edgy 5? Was it the Edgy 5 guy?
No, it was a 75% chance to get out anyway.
Oh right, sorry. Yeah.
So but they did roll a 2 and a 1, and so then the Kislev leap over, pick up the ball, and essentially head down the field, score on turn 11, I think. Yeah. Although again, the Kislev are playing pretty loose, and there are several ways for the Dark Elves to get hits on the ball, but it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And so
they have throwers, right?
no, only have
They
catchers. No,
That's
blitzers,
weird.
linemen, and catchers. They are a catching only team.
Kislev are weird.
Yeah, it's like they're one of much like vampires. They're really bad out of the box. Like no one has block or dodge. Your players die rapidly because no one has any protection skills of any kind, and your catchers are AV7, so
Yeah.
it's really painful. Some people talk about the idea of using Hail Mary pass on a double. So you get a double on a lineman and you give them Hail Mary pass. You get them to pick the ball up, and then all your catchers have diving catch. So you can. It's a terrible idea. It doesn't work. Don't do it. It's like even if you center it on the player, you've got a 20% chance of it being on the player or the squares around them with a Hail Mary pass, which isn't that great.
I remember that from doing ogre throws
Yeah.
of goblins,
Yeah.
or not goblins. I mean, snotlings. Sorry,
Yeah.
at people. Just
Use-
be like, you have to throw next to them, and that's the highest chance to hit them, which
Yeah.
is still only like a 5% chance to hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it
Yeah.
goes from like 4 to 5 or 5 to 6. Or
I
something
think
like that.
it's the center square is like 3.5%,
No,
and then the squares next to the center are 5% or something like that.
It's 4.7 is the middle, and the squares next to it is 5 point something or rather. I can't remember. But like it's
That's something low.
1% extra. But when you're talking about 4 to 5%, that's that's a 25%
That's
increase.
25% increase.
But then there's like all the other squares around, so you got to think about if you've got a nice cage, aiming for the middle of the cage is still better because you've got 5 people. So oh wait a second.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. If you've got an X cage and you throw to the middle of the X cage, you've got a 20% chance of hitting one of the X cage. Is the actual
right,
number.
okay.
So it must be 40% chance of a Hail Mary pass hitting a diving catch player, but he's then still has to roll diving catch.
That's not too bad.
So it's kind of bad.
It's not
It shouldn't be something you base your team building around.
Oh no. But I mean, if you have like 2 or like something like that, like 2 or 3 next to each other, then it's a really high chance to catch a ball.
Yeah. But the chances of you managing to do that against good players is another question entirely. Would you rather have a lineman with guard or a lineman with Hail Mary pass for this one?
Oh, definitely guard.
Yeah,
but...
there you go. So.
I am gonna try and if I will say you can keep me to my word on this. If my Agi 6 vampire rolls a double, I am taking pass.
Yeah, that's fair.
Why?
That's
He already passes pretty much long bomb on a 2+. Because
it's a 3+, but
it should be a 3+.
It should be a 4+.
It should be
but
a 4+.
It's a 3+.
Okay.
If you get strong arm as well, then it's a 2+ in
Yeah.
Blood Bowl 2. It should be a 3+ in tabletop.
Yeah, because it's a modified one.
Yeah,
which is...
because it's got a -1 modifier, which means after modifiers is a 1, which means it's a fail.
Yeah, I'm aware.
But Blood Bowl 2. I think how Blood Bowl 2 does it is it modifies the stat instead of the roll, which, to be honest, does make sense as well. But yeah.
I think it's more a case of they haven't got the fumbling correct, so they don't have.
Well, it also works with dodges as well, right? Because the dodges fail on the 1 as well, or something like that.
Well, one's always fail.
They did have them. The fumbling was correct on it.
Nah, it's not, because if you're Agi 6 doesn't actually help with passing long bombs. So, but it does in Blood Bowl 2. So
a long bomb is -2. So if you roll a 2, it should be a fumble because a modified 1 is still a fumble.
A 1 or less,
yeah. So, but if you have a high enough agility, it ignores that and makes it pass. As long as it's not a natural one, so it kind of ignores the modified 1 element, which is the problem.
So if you have Agi 6 and strong arm or accurate, then you pass a long bomb on a 2, which is not how it should work, because the overall modifier for that long bomb is -1, which means a 2 would be a 1, which is fail.
Yep.
Fair enough. Yeah. So basically, in tabletop, you should never take Agi 6 on a thrower because it's pointless. Because it's the same as Agi 5.
Unless you want to jump in and retrieve the ball.
Yeah, for picking up
throw it out from in tackle zones.
Yeah. But again, that's not really a vampire problem. No. But I'm not a fan of the building a thrower vampire plan.
I mean, okay, I wouldn't take it if he gets it before block and dodge. Then I wouldn't take it. But
yeah, I'm a blodge step and then pro guard or tackle vampire player, like pretty much, exclusively.
Fair enough.
Other than stats. So
I took frenzy. But...
Oh yeah. Sorry, 1 killer. Killers, I don't mind. I don't mind. Yeah, I'm not going to specialize in throwing, but I will specialize in killing. That's fine. Anyway, where are we? Whatever.
Nowhere so far.
Nowhere. Oh yeah. So basically, the Kislev score 2 in the second half after Oh no, I started showing it and then stopped because we were like talking about random other stuff.
Oh
Not
no.
that one. Yeah, so around turn 13, the Dark Elves have got to 3 squares away from the Kislev touchline. I'd like to point out there was a pass in there where they rolled a 1 on the throw, re-rolled it, and then the catch was a 1 as well. So having had a throw like that happen, the Kislev then lightning bolts the player who's 3 squares away from the touchdown line and throw the aforementioned. Actually, it's not quite a long bomb. It's a what's the word?
Long pass.
Long pass,
Yeah.
which in this case is a 4+ with an intercept chance, and it works out fine.
Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Like so I can't remember, it was a couple of games ago. I think I tried a 1-turn touchdown with vampires, which is possible,
Mm-hmm.
but
Wait.
It's very difficult.
With frenzy, I assume it's possible.
Yeah,
Like, I don't think it is without.
It is actually possible. There's a guide up on BB Tactics on how to do it with move 6.
Does it also involve?
You need 11 players to do it.
And do you need to gaze people? Does gazing help?
No, it's not. It's not to do. You can do it with chaos, for
okay.
example. You just need to get lucky, basically. So
have an opponent who puts all his players next to each other on the middle.
So you just need you need 3 in the center to do it, and you then push people around and so on. It does work. I've never actually gotten it to work because the chance is tiny.
Yeah.
But the thing I was saying was that I was picking up the ball with a thrall because I needed the strength and the vampires to make the touch 1-turn work if it was going to work. And the thrall, the ball of course went the worst way, which was right to the back, and the thrall picked it up and threw a 5+ long bomb and made it.
It's fine.
So that was fun. Long pass even.
It works sometimes. It's the annoying thing about, like, I
actually then roll a double 1 to catch. So
yeah. There's always a chance to fail somewhere though, right? That's the thing. Somewhere it's going to fail.
Don't know what you're on about. Long bombs are fine.
Yeah.
I'm playing as high elves with strong arm and accurate, so 3+. Nice and easy.
And now I've got a 3+ long bomb as well with my MD6.
Do it.
He could get strong arm and maybe a 2+.
Oh yeah. It's a strong arm is a natural, isn't it? So
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's a terrible idea. Don't do it. But it's funny. Maybe if you want to stay in tier 4.
Pass your way out of tier 4.
Yeah.
Who says I don't want to stay in tier 4?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't want to be in the middle of those nerds playing like chaos and chorfs and shit.
Kislev.
Yeah, Kislev OP. I thought actually what you were going to say before you mentioned the idea of having a passing vampire. I thought you were going to say that you were thinking about going to Kislev after vampires because they play actually quite similarly. Like there's a lot of things where the vampires ignore cages because you gaze people away, and Kislev ignore cages because they just leap into where they want to go. And there's some stark similarities between them, and also beating on noobs, people who don't know how to play against them have a real problem.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's the reason I did so well in. Not so well, but I did all right in Eurogamer. Playing vampires, and I think that was mainly because it was a lot of people who were relatively new and didn't know how to play against them.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I also didn't know how to play them. I never played them before, but.
So Eurogamer was before you started playing tabletop?
No, it was before I started. Yeah, sorry, it was before I started playing tabletop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or vampires.
Not before I started playing Blood Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I'd played for a couple of years before that.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'm showing the final score, which was the Chicago Bulls Shoit beating the Druidichi Violets 2-1. All of those touchdowns being turnarounds, where the Dark Elves turned over the Kislev at the first half, and the Kislev turned over the Dark Elves twice in the second half. The Wrestle Witch Elf gets a level because she got a Kaz randomly. So after Wrestle, I assume you take Tackle or Leap or Agi up. Did you say,
Or Juggernaut.
or Juggernaut? Oh yeah, Juggernaut if it's double. That would be nice.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you it's a normal.
Okay, so tackle.
Yeah, tackle, surely.
Well, it's not.
Oh.
Oh, wait, they've got dodge,
Oh.
wrestle, not tackle. They've got frenzy already. What? And leap, not leap, right?
Nah, it's not the
I have literally
Strip
no idea.
ball.
Strip ball. Oh, okay.
Strip ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has already got
Fair enough.
3 tackles, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not unreasonable.
Very much moving towards the wrestle, tackle, leap option, I guess. I always went I wondered with Dark Elves whether the Witch Elf leaping thing was a good idea. And about 3 seasons ago, I had a look at all the Dark Elf teams in Gman, and all the ones at the top of the division didn't have a leaping witch, and all the ones at the bottom of the division had a leaping witch. Now, that might have been coincidence, but you know,
it could be a coincidence. But I also agree. I don't think the Leaping Witch is particularly good.
it's another it's another dice to fail to lose you positioning is the problem.
Yeah, especially with the frenzy, you're more likely to get trapped if you try and leap into a cage with a witch elf.
I mean, but like you get that with war dancers. Frenzy war dancers are very popular,
True.
especially on tabletop. Less so in continuous leagues, I find, because you can get better skills eventually. You know, you can build up to a better player. But
cycle until you get stats.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and Lol Skater says Rackle for the win, and he's working on an Agi 5 goat to get leaping Rackle goats.
Yeah, he said that while I think he said about the Rackle while we were talking about Disco Dave's team.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. Sorry.
A while back.
I have one.
You have one. Nice.
Yeah.
Agi 5 goat.
As you
Leap.
do.
All right, fair enough. The long pass, also fun.
That's funny. Gruff's got one as well in. Oh no, that's not a league. Anyway, all right. So where were we? Predictions for this game. Yeah.
And we need to talk about the 2 levels for Chicago.
Oh, wait, did we miss one level? We only looked at the witch.
We didn't look at either of the 2 for the Kislev.
Oh, so the fairly new bear got MVP in that game and a level up. So I assume he either got block, guard, or stand firm. Block if it's double, obviously. Guard.
I assume he got guard.
Yeah. And the other one is the plus strength wrestle dodge catcher,
who is probably tackle.
I'd assume so.
Or strip.
Or strip again. Now we've been reminded that strip ball is actually a skill.
I think that sounds reasonable.
And he has gone for tackle, and he has rolled a double on the bear.
Nice.
There you go.
I think he actually talked about that in the Kislev server. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah. Anyway.
You're in the Kislev server?
Yeah, I play Kislev in the in Gman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you're in the vampire server.
Yeah, I'm also.
You'd already seen the screenshot I posted of my player. Or maybe you didn't. Who knows?
No, I'm not in the vampire server.
You're not?
I'd like to be in the vampire server. I'm in the vampire. Vampire is by invite only. It's not in the list at the beginning of.
It isn't. Yeah.
Of the rebel
Vampire
thing.
and High Elves are both hidden.
Yeah, I actually know someone who was told to get out of the High Elf one because he's not a rebel High Elf player, which I think is kind of a bit harsh.
There is a general High Elf one for the non-elite that don't play in rebel.
But I guess it makes sense for High Elves to be elitist. Is the other thing to say about that, isn't it?
And it makes sense.
Vampires being secretive. That was the whole thing. Like I joined a server when it was created.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was just like, there isn't a vampire server, and then people were like, let's create a vampire server, and then we went into it and we were like, let's not post this because it's thematic. And we could be like,
yeah. For the High Elf one, you get a invite once the season starts if you're playing as High Elves.
Okay.
And
do you get kicked out if you're no longer playing High Elves?
Yep. That is exactly right. If you've changed away from the elite race, then you get kicked out.
Yeah,
The
and if you're
solid
playing the
with
elite
40.
race somewhere else, you get kicked out as well, which is,
Well, no, you just go into the peasant accessible one.
All right, fine. Anyway, um, I'm in enough bloody
Bit harsh.
servers anyway. I remember. So I think the first racial Discord I heard about at least was the Chaos one, and I remember thinking, "Oh, this is stupid. You can't have a Discord for every race. It's just ridiculous." And
But
Oh,
we
I thought you were
do.
just going to say you can't have a Discord for chaos. What's it going to say? Oh, take claw.
yeah, exactly.
More
I
claw.
like. I can't remember who it was, but someone has a Edge 4 very long legs leap Chaos Warrior.
yeah, I've had him in Imperium. He's one of the legends you can get.
Oh,
in
he is a
Imperium.
legend, yeah, because
Yeah.
Herringsword likes him as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Ooh.
player is pretty cool. I would want to take that in the Chaos team.
yeah. He's not just long legs and leap. He's
He's
blodge
blodge, yeah,
as well. Yeah.
So Dave's just told us that he got the wrestle on the Lino, but he got an 11 on the Blitzer.
So I guess he's taking that, right?
I would take the Agi.
I think he's already got 2 Agi.
He's got
though.
2 Agi ups, but more Agi is more good,
Yeah.
as you can see from my team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's slightly
I don't
moving.
know.
Like you're hedging in towards the. Are you going to start playing throwing orcs at some point? Once you get
Yeah.
3 agi ups, elf orcs.
Yeah. I don't think I would take that Agi up.
I think I would.
I think I'd rather have another guard. I suppose it depends on who he's playing soon, but
And it also depends on how important you want short term to be versus long term as well, isn't it? It's like agi is
Yeah.
more of a long termy thing because
Fair.
it's slowing down guard, but you are going to get a wall of guard
You'll
at
get
some
it.
point.
you'll probably get
Yeah.
it sooner as well.
Although Disco Dave's players do die quite rapidly, so
He is more likely to get touchdowns and so on. Yeah,
Yeah.
or even you could try completions with him as well. But
Yeah.
yeah,
The elf leveling way.
he just
Yeah,
needs he needs a goblin with catch so he can. He's
that's
got
true.
an easy.
I think wasn't there at some point like in early Blood Bowl where when you were when a goblin was thrown, he technically rolled a catch roll on the floor. So if you could put catch on a goblin, he would get to re-roll the landing roll.
I'm not
That
aware
would
of
be
it ever
amazing.
happening. I know people have talked about this a lot. It's been something that people have begged, have like gone, oh, this should be a rule. You should get something for the goblin landing, and it's like
just Agi up.
you just keep throwing your stunties until they you level them up by just repeatedly lobbing them. It's not there's already no reason not to throw your stunties. So actually, rewarding them for being lobbed around is not fair. Is the thing.
They do get hurt quite a lot doing it.
Yeah, they do.
I've only, I think I said, I haven't played Stunty much in actual leagues, but I've played against the AI, and I've only managed to hit a player once when I'm throwing someone.
Yeah.
Like if I'm purposely throwing a snotling at the enemy team, I've only managed to hit once.
It's pretty rare, but there was so I was in a league where they did side competitions that were purely about the race. So there was like an orc competition, and in the orc competition, I went goblin throwing orcs. This was like before any other races had come out in BB2, and it was like just the base 10 or whatever. Yeah, the first 10. And I did the magic thing of throwing a goblin and then hitting the ball carrier who was potatoing downfield on his own, and he was too far away to be hit to be reached by anyone else, and like sniper shot him. And that was a game where I went from losing 1-0 in turn 14 to winning the game because of a thrown touchdown in turn 14 followed by a blitz into a thrown touchdown to win 2-1. So every other game was awful, but that one game was like the perfect zenith of throwing stunties at people.
My choices were valid.
Yeah, this is somewhat what it's like playing vampires itself. Sometimes you're just like, why did I pick this team?
Yeah, but mostly at the beginning.
I'm glad I picked this.
Yeah.
Every now and then, it's just like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Everything's working. Finally.
Yeah. Once you get a bit of once everyone's got blodge and you've got a little bit of pro, so that you know you've got like 50% less, blood sucking going on, it suddenly starts being beautiful. I think.
Yeah.
Whereas
I haven't got any pro, but
yeah. Well, some people don't like it. Some people just re-roll, or the other
if I
main
need
thing.
to, I'll re-roll. Otherwise, I just accept it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But some games you just have that game where every single bite is a Kaz, and you just have no one left.
Yeah, that happened to me. I think that was mainly happening to me a lot in the first 2 seasons of main Rebel I played, where it was just like, yeah, Kaz 2 players of my own on my first turn. That was fun.
Yeah. So, like, a lot of the time, my chat with my opponent becomes, "Ha ha! I've Kaz'd more players than you have," and
yeah,
like more often than not, I'm winning that race.
Shall
Yeah,
we
well,
do
at
the
least
predictions?
Yep. And in fact, I have the window open, and I'm already ready, and I know why you want to do predictions, because you are on 12 now. And Mr. Mojo is now on 14, escaping the whirlwind of 13 unluckiness. And Rob Tot also goes up 1.
I was actually doing it because I'd actually just
Wait,
looked at the time and realised we've been doing it for an hour and 20 minutes and we're on game 2.
We're not on game 2, it's game 3, okay? The admin
We're
one
about
counts.
to start game 3.
We're about to start game 4.
I
right?
also got that right.
Okay.
Right, I got the
Kislev.
the Kislev game. Yeah, I predicted that.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh yeah. Sorry, I.
You just didn't mention me.
No. Spoon
No,
didn't include your name in this game.
Oh,
I didn't.
I'm gonna blame Spoon on that one.
Oh, that apparently is my bad.
Ah.
What? Have I just been writing stuff down wrong?
Oh great! So now I need to double check everything as well.
well, you were right on the Goblin game. So
Yeah, bear with me. I'll double check him.
No, it's fine.
it was just me and Disco Dave on the Goblin game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I must have missed you. I'm blaming the brackets behind your name.
Luckily, I'm on the recap, isn't it?
Yeah. To make sure there's no.
Otherwise I'd have done you out of a point. Oh no. Harsh.
That would have been the end of the world. Okay, wait. So I actually do need to add a point to you. Wait a second. I've just realised I hadn't done that, even though we were talking about it.
Right. Next game is my game.
Ah. I also
You
have clips
should
of this.
know this one. Excellent. Against poor old Project Angels, Nurgle.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think I was going to win at several points throughout this game.
Isn't that the vampire way?
Yeah. It was mainly came down to vampires successfully escaping tentacles, like twice or 3 times in a row.
But like tentacles are not that great when there's only one strength point between them.
It's
right?
it's a 7+ for a vampire, but
Yeah.
still, like you've got to roll it still.
It's almost 50-50. You're almost even.
It's
that point,
it's
right?
60. I think a 7+ is 60% to roll. So
Nearer.
It's like 58.
it's near 60.
Yeah.
It's like 58 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's like 58, he says, because he knows it's 58. Just saying. Anyway.
I can't remember exactly what it is, but
it's 58.
something like
That's
that.
why I keep saying
It is 58.
58.
Okay, right.
Yes. Yeah. So, actually, both of you took some 1Ds in the first drive that I'm not particularly enamoured with. That, like, there was a few warriors punching vampires just because they were standing next to each other, and vice versa. So I was like, that's the right idea. But I've kind of skipped ahead to turn 6, where. Oh wait a second! This is the first clip.
Stuff happens.
Yeah, where you received and you scored fairly rapidly on your drive, right? It was like 3 or 4 turns.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And this is turn 6, where you gaze and get the plus strength thrall to hit the ball. It's kind of like I was thinking about this. It's not really a lucky bounce, because wherever the ball bounced, there was like one square that would have been a bad bounce. Anywhere else, and you would have been able to send a vampire in to pick the ball up, and then recover it and get it back. And I feel like this was the Nurgle not caging very well against vampires. It's a very flat kind of team position, and against vampires, this is not a good idea.
There's a way to get to the ball carrier.
Yeah. Especially once he gazes the. I mean, like you could have got a 1 die on the ball carrier without rolling anything except for you know a bloodlust. In fact, but gazing the guard obviously makes it 2 dice. And
yeah, I wanted the 2 die really,
Yeah.
so that's why I did it.
Yeah.
Super strength 4 roll coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I didn't even have both of them that game.
I don't think you've ever had both of them, have you?
I have, yeah.
Yeah,
The game before this one, I had both of them.
We were talking about this last week that they seem to take it in turns. Like one is MNG every other week or so, maybe a little bit more. So you've had I think you've had one game.
You have both of them this week again.
Yeah.
I need 1 SPP on the one with no other levels to get him leveled up, and he's going to take block. I expect.
It's going to be a lot safer. Not wrestle. You're not going to take wrestle on both of them.
Nah, I'm not. I'm going to take block on that one because he's moving 5. Like I can't really use him as a sacker very easily.
That makes sense.
You can still use him as a sacker. It just means you've now got 2+ strength thralls.
True.
You know, on
yeah.
either.
I was thinking about making him more of a roadblock, so giving him block and fend.
Yeah. Would you think about firing him as he's movement 5 at some point, and he's quite a lot of TV?
No, maybe, but yeah. I like the meme, so.
Yep.
I mean, it's not really a meme having 7 strength 4 players. It's kind of a good thing.
I know, but I want the meme to continue.
Would you? Are you thinking about getting a 6th vampire? Would you? No. Are you a 5 vampire? Is it nevermore type thing?
Yep, and lots of people have 4 nevermore.
Yeah, I like the idea of not having more than you've got re-rolls and pro. So once you get a certain amount of pro, you can get your 6th vampire.
I guess.
I like them not outnumbering the thralls on the pitch.
But if you've got a lot of pro everywhere, then that fear of just removing all your own players becomes a lot less of a problem.
True. But I don't plan to take pro that soon, so I'm not going above 5.
Yeah.
What about if your opponent removes all the thralls from the pitch because even when you're not?
Just don't roll bloodlust.
Yeah.
Basically, that's all you can do at that point. But no, I will take pro, just not yet.
Not yet. It is one of the problems with vampires. You want blodge step, you want mighty blow, you want tackle, you want guard, you want everything. Yeah. It's so hard to get.
Number 1 will probably get Juggernaut. He won't go for pro at all.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And probably the number 2 will take pro next. He only needs 1 SVP. He'll probably take it. I'm not sure. Haven't decided. Number 5 will take guard and stand firm. So I need one of those. He's gonna skip sidestep and go stand firm later.
I like the idea of not only having sidestep. Although my UK BBL game this week is against a team of 6 blodge stepping vampires. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to take on number 2, to be honest. Like whether pro is good or whether I could take something more more utility.
The thing is, you want pro on the players that you're activating a lot, like your killer and maybe like your plus agi, because they're going to be doing the gazing. So
the plus agi's gonna go unless I happen to roll a double after I get blodge. Then he's gonna go blodge step pro.
Yeah,
just going to be general.
But like pro works for killing skills. Like the reason pro is good on vamps is not just because you're rolling bloodlust. It's because you're rolling bloodlust blocks and gaze and ball carrying things. So I don't think it's worth getting pro on a vampire who you're not doing lots of things with, if that makes sense. So
I guess
pro on the killer, pro on your ball handler, pro on the person a plus agi vampire, because they're hypnogazing a lot, but they're the ones who are going to roll the most dice, whereas the others have blodge step, can just stand where they are and be really annoying, and don't need to activate them at all.
Maybe I should just get guard on him then.
Is my that's my thoughts. Anyway,
But guard with sidestep isn't quite as good as guard with stun for him.
A bit of both, I think. You know.
Quite fun.
Yeah.
Still.
It is fun. Yeah.
You can be even more annoying if people are, get greedy and decide to punch you when you're standing a bit too close to their cage. You know.
Oh, true. Yeah. Just go into the cage.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're guard now.
That happened in a game recently where I was like rats, and someone 3-diced a guard gutter runner. It's like, well, you only rolled pushes, so now I have guard inside your cage. Anyway, so do you have anything to say about the combination of Mighty Blow and plus Agi, your first vampire?
He just, I couldn't really. It was I didn't have any stat ups at that point, and I was like, I can't really pass this up, so I just took it, and I was like, it's worked out pretty well, to be honest. Like, he can blitz whoever I like, pretty much. And he's been pretty heroic when it comes to some touchdowns as well, like passing in good situations and things like that.
Mm-hmm. And you never feel like, I want to hypno-gaze with him and I want to blitz with him at the same time. You know, there's too many good things about him.
Less so now that I've got the strengthful thralls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there was obviously you want to hypno-gaze with him, but you can hypno-gaze with the others. It's fine.
You got the other agility up one now.
I do. That one does hypno-gazes on a 1+, which doesn't work. You can do a hypno-gaze. He does have utility though, because he can do a hypno-gaze on a 2+ in 2 tackle zones, which is sometimes needed.
Going back to the clips,
Hopefully not too often.
I've actually started showing the clip after where you sacked the ball, where you lob it down to a vampire who's deep in the Nurgle end, and Project Angel has to use his lightning bolt against your vamp.
Yeah,
and
he used it early, right, in the half.
Well, it was turn 7. But
was it?
It made it impossible for you to score at that point.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And it cast the vampire into failed regen as well.
Yeah, that was fun.
But you've got an Apo, but you'd only use it against something like proper.
Yeah,
right?
I only used it for a perm.
Yeah.
Which I did this game, and it failed, but he regened, so it was fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than using your Apo to try and save something.
It's kind of one of the nice things about Vamps is having regen and having an Apo is actually, you know.
Yeah. So he got a niggle, which I Apo'd, which came out as minus agility, and I was like, no. So I took the niggle, and then I was like, it's not great. I'd probably still keep him for a bit, but it's not a fun thing, and they just regen, so it's fine.
Last time I played as vampires, my agility 5 one got armor down into armor down, and then failed the regen. It's like, what? Come on, work.
Well, so I did actually have a vampire with 2 stat ups before, but he died to a random Saurus block. It was death, failed regen.
No, the horror.
He had move up, dodge, and agi, and he literally had leveled for block that game and then died.
Poor old Beauregard the Beautiful.
Yeah.
Actually, but you're like 1 thrall dodge, right? But other than that, you're pretty lucky with your injuries against, you know.
So far this season, yeah.
And also particularly in this game, I noticed you and I'm showing a clip now of you kept the tackle warrior busy with thralls for quite a lot of the game. Where you know,
like, the plan.
Yeah, don't worry if he gets killed.
You don't want that around.
Yeah. And so I'm showing a clip from later on in the half. So because of the lightning bolt, you didn't manage to score a second one, but I think you would have if you hadn't done that. I mean, Bloodlust notwithstanding, because he was on his own out there. And then we can see the number of players who got KAS'd and a few KOs to mean that I think you've got like 5 players
something
in defense.
like that. Yeah. I think it's 6, but
you had 4 KOs at the end of the half, and like one of them came back, which was probably a bit of a pain.
Yeah,
understatement.
I think I had 6 players on the on his drive.
Yeah.
Which I managed to slow him down reasonably well, but
Yeah, so I'm showing 2 turns, and you steal the ball and get a blodge stepper onto the sideline who has to be surrounded by 5 players and pushed off the pitch for him to get the ball back from.
yes,
Which but he does then hand the ball off to a warrior.
yeah, I was surprised by that. I was thinking he really wants to score right now.
It's a bit risky, against vampires.
I wouldn't have done that. I would just waited a turn.
You'd potatoed your plus agi player into safety. So if you had failed anything there was a very significant chance of just the ball being lobbed up the pitch.
Yeah.
And then we have one last drive from you of 4 turns. I think he massively overcommitted in this drive. So all his Pestigores are in the middle of the pitch, and you hypno-gaze and run down one side, and you're almost out of reach of I think a lot of them.
Yeah, there was one in range, and he blitzed it. He attacked something else with it.
Yeah. But I also it takes although we are talking about long throws, it was another. This might even be a long bomb. Is this a long bomb? No,
I didn't do any bombs. I did a normal long throw, I think.
Yeah. But with Agi 5, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's a 4.
It's a 3+.
Yeah.
I think
3+.
3+.
Is it 3+?
Yeah,
it's 3+.
Which is not bad. It's -1,
That's
and
right.
And it makes it, and there's no stink that either of the players win. I think you could have actually put the thrall 1 square further to the left, and it would have protected the vampire better from the players in the middle.
Yeah, I was very. I think that was. I think I know what you're talking about. I was debating for a long time where exactly to put him, and I just sort of panicked a bit. I was just like, "Fuck, I'll just put him there."
If he'd gone 1 to the left, it might have stopped the beast from getting onto you.
Yeah, but it might be like it would have made him use the warrior to hit more. So because of where the thrall is, like hitting with the warrior is not as great. So he uses the warrior to hit a thrall.
Yep.
Another thrall. And then blitzes with the beast who doesn't have tackle. So maybe a harsher positioned thrall would have made him want to
dodge or something.
No, he doesn't need to dodge. There's a rotter who can push away the player who's on the warrior.
Oh, okay.
But he doesn't go for that. He goes for the kill with the warrior, and then base you with tentacles, and you just dodge out and make GFIs. And it's
I mean that was all I could do at that point. I think.
Yeah. And no thrall to bite if you failed.
Yes, that's the thing.
Which is...
I seem to often end up with that where they successfully stop the thralls going up, and I just have to go, well, I've just got to leave it and risk it.
That's kind of what I was talking about with, like, playing against coaches who just kind of ignore Bloodlust and
I do think about it, but often I just have to try and ignore it.
You run out of thralls anyway, because everyone's told the thing you need to do is kill all the thralls, so they do, and then you go and score with a vampire anyway. Or
because it's only a 1 in 6.
Yeah.
It's not that.
Why would you say that?
I mean, you had like a lot of rerolls in that game as well. I think you had. I don't know if it was.
Yeah, I had 4, and I got 1 each half, I think.
Yeah. So you ended the first half with like 3 left over or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So so the only level up is the completion and touchdown and MVP that went to Beauregard III, who we've already seen the level for.
Yeah. Double agi up.
Double agi up. So yeah, he's going to be getting a few more completions, I would guess.
Yeah. I need to get one. I need to get one on the Blood Stepper.
Bishop Brian Booty.
Yep.
Yeah. And I also need to get one on Battered Banquet II as well, because he's 15 out of 16. But maybe he can try and get a Kaz. Sorry, that's a Thrall.
The Thrall.
The plus strength one who wasn't in this game. So at the moment, I'm showing the RebelNet page, and it's like,
right,
it does show Braised Bicep III is going to need to be replaced by Braised Bicep IV.
Yeah, he already has been.
I
did that immediately after the game. I was like, nope. Yeah, I'm not keeping him anymore.
Oh no, Bruised Beefcake is the one who got niggled. So you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Braised Bicep also got replaced.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they've both been replaced.
Yeah. Which it's probably like losing a couple of skills on thralls is not the worst thing in the world.
It's not the worst. Like I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he was only wrestle fend. It wasn't that important. So just replace him.
And so do you now have 14 players? Is that
I have 14. Because the kick one is MNG'd. I'm keeping him still.
Yep.
Just because I need to get another thrall level up. As soon as I get one more thrall level up, I'm getting kick and firing him.
Yeah.
But
minus I mean, for the main purpose of thralls is to get bitten or to stand in the way, and
yeah,
strength.
He still does that.
He still does that. Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't
get rid of with strength 2.
To be honest, I do actually try and keep him out of the way most of the time. I just leave him for assists. So
it's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like now you've got a strength thrall. Obviously, the strength thrall is going to be doing a job, but generally your thralls don't do that much. So we joke about saying, "Oh, they're just food," and people stand in the way, but they kind of are.
The sure hands one does some stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got.
He never gets any SPP. He's still on 6, but yeah, he does stuff in the games.
My vampire team has a sure hands block plus agi thrall, so he does all the ball carrying from behind the line. So you don't need to have a vampire and a thrall together at the back.
I just use this guy anyway.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's a 1 in 9 to fail. It's better than a vampire. So
yeah, true. Good point. And the Nurgle didn't gain any level ups and didn't really lose anyone.
MVP went to a loner. I was
Jonas Mulder. Maybe they've bought Jonas Mulder.
Yep. Sure.
They did.
Yeah, because they need some players, right?
Yeah, they needed players. He only had 2 rotters before this, and now he has 5.
Fair enough.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of them.
One of yours as well. Braised Bicep.
He did, yeah, because he killed one. Yeah.
Yep.
So you got a free one.
Bought Jonas.
Actually, kind of looks like him as well.
So that'd be good if there was actually,
It would. I would love that if they had put that much effort in to make rotters and zombies of each different player. Or each different
races.
Each different race.
Yeah.
Lineman.
Yeah.
In Fumble, there is a Skaven. What is he, a rotter or a zombie? And every time I look at him, and when I'm looking at teams that are playing against Skaven, I get confused as to which side he's on, and it's kind of distracting.
I guess.
But I'd still really like that. I still think it's better to have a dwarf, a Skaven, and a human zombie. It's it's kind of boring having them all being just humans.
Yeah.
Anyway,
especially if it was like you kill a minotaur and you get a tiny little man.
Strength 3 isn't over strength 4, so I don't think you'd get the thing for him, sadly.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not minotaur, but like a curse warrior or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that, or a flesh golem. He suddenly gets a lot smaller when he dies.
Shrinks in the wash.
It's funny though, isn't it?
That guy again. He's got regen, so he wouldn't get it either. Saurus?
Actually,
fine. Yeah, a Saurus there.
It wasn't going to be that guy, but he started to clarify.
No regen, no stunty, no. Actually, is it strength 4? You're not allowed.
I thought you were allowed strength 4.
Hang on,
I think it's 4 or higher. You're not. I think it's.
Nurgle's rot. Cannot exceed 4. Yeah. So you're allowed 4.
Okay, alright, fine.
Cannot have decay, regeneration, or stunty.
No,
no, you're not allowed stunty.
Yeah, otherwise you just end up with swarms of them.
Swarms of them anyway. On Nurgle at least, and you end up with swarms of them because you have kill players.
I mean, but they do also die with the.
Yeah, true.
You know.
I'm surprised he bought 3 rotters instead of buying a Nurgle warrior.
He didn't. He bought 1, didn't he?
No, he bought 3. He bought the 1 that he got, and he bought 2 more.
Well, so the one from your team is free.
Oh, sorry, he bought two. He bought another one. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
But he still could have bought a Noga Warrior if he didn't buy any.
I guess he bought Jonas Mulder because he won MVP and then was like,
Yeah.
I should keep buying more players rather than.
True.
Why not?
Why not, indeed. Okay,
Why
I am updating the scores as we speak.
Exciting.
And Supra, you got this one, and XCam, and Rob Top, and Spoon. Haven't added one to you yet. God, I'm being left behind a bit, damn it. And Mr. Mojo.
Who predicted a draw? You guys don't believe in me. Cordite and Disco Dave.
I mean, you know, against Nurgle, it should be harder than it. I think you outplayed him. If you excuse the, you know, if it's a bit harsh, but
I don't know if I did that. I think
it was just down
to some luck.
I don't think he played that well against vampires. I don't know if he's not played much against vampires and so didn't defend against them, you know, that well. But you turned him over a lot, and you made his life a lot harder than he made your life, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Whereas, you know, with movement 7, agi 4, 2 heads, and guard and strength 4 and tentacles, it should have been more difficult for you.
He was missing a warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, he had a lot less strength than me.
Yeah,
which is
true.
a problem for Nurgle.
Yeah, true.
But he did have guard, and I don't have any guard, so...
Yeah.
But, you know,
I will be getting some.
as you showed, guard's not really as much of a problem for vampires, what with the whole...
you can gaze the guard, so... That's like the one counter to guard other than just getting them down.
I mean,
gaze.
he could have actually induced a Merc guard warrior to make up for some of the strength loss.
True. Yeah.
Instead of having a wizard, a bribe, and a babe, which, like, I feel like
I wouldn't say that's bad.
No, the wizard's good, but he ended up using it in a way where he shouldn't have allowed you to get hits on the ball that easily. And like the bribe, do you feel like the bribe got value? I mean, actually, so yeah, I guess the amount of players you had left in the second half suggests that yes,
yeah,
the bribe
I think it did get value.
Yeah.
But so he did eventually get sent off, the dirty player guy. But yeah, it definitely, I think it definitely did something.
Cool. Okay, so next one. This might be a bit quicker. So this is the Chaos Black Nightmares, which is Nicholas. Nicholas, is that right?
Yep.
Against We Are Zons, who is Rob Top.
Necromantic Rob.
Necromantic Rob, indeed. That's what I was trying to think of. I couldn't remember the necromantic bit. And actually, I think the Chaos did quite well in this game. I was talking to Spoon before we started that. Like, he didn't do anything silly, and I think he was playing better. But, like, Chaos against Zons, it's a hard matchup. Like,
yeah, especially with very little or no tackle on the Chaos Black Knight.
None at all. Like, they've only just got some block, right? So,
yeah, true.
You know.
Yeah, they have no tackle at all. They do have a strip ball.
Yeah. Well,
they did have a tail, which is gone.
Yeah. Spoilers.
It was gone a while ago.
Oh no, they've got a tail. Who? Well, let's. Where are we? So, the first clip I'm showing is very quick, and it's where the 200 TV of movement for Minotaur gets removed in turn 2 by a mighty blow Zon, and I don't think he comes back for the whole game.
Oh no!
So you know, that's a bit of a pisser when you're already. I think he had 11 players. So no, he had one spare. So he had 10. Another player got injured, and he had 10 players for the next drive. He starts off with the ball, and he kind of goes down the side a little bit. The thing that I liked was he disconnected and retreated at a certain point when he realised he wasn't getting through the wall of blodge
You mean disengaged?
He disengaged. Yeah, he stepped back.
Sorry, I was disconnected. I was like,
Oh yeah.
How was that
Oh sorry. No,
play?
yeah. No, not that kind of disconnect. Yeah, sorry. He disengaged. Yeah, that's the right term.
Yeah.
But then a couple of turns later, he's again kind of trying to push down the side because he's hemmed in. He can't go down the middle. He's, they're just as fast as him. He has no real advantage, and they're positioning. They're Zons. They just dodge out of the way, and they've siphoned him towards the sidelines. There were quite a lot of serfs, but I feel like he didn't really, against Blodge stand firm. He didn't really have many options.
You just gotta try it and roll.
Yeah.
Hope you roll powers.
And it wasn't working. And because he was getting surfed as well, his number of players was running out. So here, it's turn 4. He has just had a player surfed who gets cased. The ball is now not protected because there's only 6 players on the pitch. So the Zons go around the back and hit the ball from the back, and then KO the ball carrier. So there's now only 5 players left on the pitch. And in fact, I think the Zons could have picked up the ball here, but they decide that they want to pick it up on a player who's really far away. So they just don't bother picking it up, and they just go around and base more of the Chaos players.
Beat up more of the Chaos.
Which I thought was a little bit harsh, but, you can't really say that much. And the Zons, get the ball away turn 7, score turn 8, and then it's their drive. And here we have more surfing. This time, the tail Beastman,
Who got surfed on our first clip?
Who got surfed in the first clip and gets surfed in the second clip into dead.
Oh right.
So the movement busted tail Beastman is no more.
Oh sorry, it was the foul appearance Beastman that died ages
ago.
Yeah,
sorry,
I was thinking of the wrong thing.
Like essentially, his opponents are slowly making Miklas's team better and better every time because they keep killing the players with silly skills, and for some reason, it's almost like block lets players live longer. The block players are surviving. Who'd have thought
He's had
it?
that blodge for ages though. To be fair.
Yeah. He's had one blodge player.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ended up being 2-0 to the Zons. But I do think, I've been I think I've been overly harsh about Miklas in the past, and actually, I think he played quite well. I think he played, I think he had a hard game, and I don't think he did anything silly. He just, there wasn't much he could do, and such as life.
Yeah, Zons are going to be a bit overpowering if you haven't got any tackle.
Yeah, and
I haven't got much tackle. I'm not looking forward to my game this week, to be honest. I've only got 2 tackle for the whole Zon team.
Yeah, but it's less of a problem with vampires, right? Because you don't need to remove them. You can remove their tackle zones, right?
Yeah, true.
Although they do have some mighty blow, so
I do want to remove them.
Yeah.
They have a mighty blow.
Wants to remove them.
Yeah.
I will be trying to go over that blitzer. The mighty blow piling on one, because mighty blow piling on is real scary for me, just as scary as claw, because thralls don't get affected by claw.
Yeah, well, if she piles on, then you kick her, right? That's the plan, right?
Yeah.
The Chaos only got 7 SVP in that game, 2 from a Minotaur hitting someone in turn 1 because he got removed in turn 2.
I was gonna say, wow.
And the MVP. The Zons, on the other hand, got completion, 2 touchdowns, 2 Kaz, MVP, and no permanent damage, and leveled up 2 players. One was the aforementioned Blitzer with piling on. Guess Jugs? Anything else?
That's not what it is.
Yeah, Jugs, unless she gets the
or
double.
Pro or Frenzy. Is
Yeah.
it any of those 3?
Nope.
Is it a
did she get the
normal?
double and jump up?
Nope.
Oh.
It's guard.
Ah, it doesn't really
Fair
work
enough.
with
Piling on.
but just means you don't pile on, which is probably a good idea.
You shouldn't pile on all the time.
No.
Yeah. Probably going to be useful sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean the others. I really like Jugs. I think Jugs is really useful.
Jugs would have been more useful for the kill skills.
Yeah, but if you want more guard, Wall of Guard. I guess guard also means you're protecting your team altogether, right? Better.
Yeah. Also, I just noticed she's got the exact same stat ups that I do, or the number at least. She's got 3 agi ups and 2 strength ups.
Yep.
That's she.
Oh,
They.
well,
you've just
that's a
spoiled
bit
the
of a
other
giveaway because
Oh, sorry.
So Maddie Gluehands, who was a catcher and had guard, leveled up as well. And
Yeah.
previously the team only had 2 agi ups, so I'm guessing.
Yeah. By process of deduction.
Sorry, I don't know. Well, people probably missed it. I can't see the stream. So.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry.
Excuses.
It's funny. Don't worry. So yes.
Good.
Oh, 5. Yeah, 3 agi ups. That's great for Zons.
Yeah.
And that's two of the guarders who are agi 4 as well.
3 agi and 2 strength. Wow.
It kind of makes up for the fact that Zons are shit and have the same stat line.
Well, yeah, because they've also got to move down on one of them, so they're slowly diverging and becoming a bit different.
Yeah.
Now we just need a couple more strength downs there, maybe a move up, and then they can be really different.
And
there you go.
Lexi was the plus strength linewoman, was the one that the coach was trying, that Rob was trying to level up.
Yeah.
So he's 1 SPP away from another level.
Well, we've both got a strength up only player lineman that needs 1 SPP. Should we both just agree to,
They're either both going to get the vanity pass, or they're both going to die.
True,
facing each other. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Let's just have a punch out. Well, she'll win because she's got dodge.
No, you just get them both down when one of you throws the punch.
True.
Take
And they
both
both
out
die.
at once. Yep. What a way to go.
I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen a both down where both players died.
I've seen that. Yeah.
I've seen where both got injured.
Oh, actually, no. Maybe a bit 1 death, 1 injury. I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I've played. I played a chaos team in the rookie league ladder, and I played against a goblin team one time who threw a bomb at my cage and got 4 out of 5 players down and 3 of them injured. That was real nasty, and especially 2 of those were chaos warriors that got injured.
Amazing.
Ugh.
Bombers are amazing. Most of the time they're not.
Yeah, usually they're not. Usually they're rubbish. Yeah. Usually.
Oh, I should have mentioned actually. There was something you wouldn't have noticed, but was relatively spectacular. Was that my strength 2 thrall managed to escape the beast?
Oh, I didn't see that. I like so on weeks like this where I get clips, I do go through, like, I've got a replay viewer that one of the players of Rebel had built, and so I download the replays off Goblin Spy and I flick through all the dice so I can see what happens. But I must have missed that because it's like, escaping tents is just 2 dice. It doesn't look that impressive when you're going quickly.
But yeah, I think I rolled an 11 or something. He just went whoop, out the way.
Yep.
And you'll be surprised to hear that basically everyone got that right? So, Supra, let's see, Corn, yes, Spoon, yes.
I think Nicholas got it right as well.
And that's the first time Nicholas has actually joined in the guessing, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
100% record.
Everyone got that right. No one got it wrong, at least.
No, Flying Turtle didn't guess. Okay, so Flying Turtle didn't go up.
Okay.
Other than that, I was basically just double checking to see if I could just go down the whole list, adding 1 to everyone, which I can.
There you go.
Except Flying Turtle, and I'm also going to add a 1 at the end, which is going to be for Nicholas. Okay, cool. So the next one is, he says,
Rats Camry.
Rats Camry.
Yep, things you do not want from Cannon's about versus the like of Rendrake.
Yes, this is one of the ones where I got points back because not many people thought the result that I would get, that I thought it would be.
I would have voted for the Camry normally, but he didn't take his levels last week.
Oh, so... yeah, of course.
Yeah, that was
I noticed there's no outstanding levels this week. Just saying,
It worked.
it works clearly.
There aren't any more. There were some, but they got fixed.
I say that on my recap yesterday, I was the only person that hadn't taken my levels, so I had to boo myself.
You now got to vote against yourself on your own recap.
Yeah.
No.
I don't have any choice. I still can't decide what to take with the level, so yeah, it's a bit difficult.
What have you got? We'll give our professional opinions.
So I've got a high elf thrower with dodge, accurate, and strong arm, and he's got a strength up potentially.
Oh yeah.
I probably wouldn't bother.
Have we talked about this already? I think
I think so. Yeah.
I think I said last week, and I stick by this, that it depends on how you play.
Yep.
True.
I think I should just take block because I normally hang him back.
Yeah.
Or possibly guard, so he becomes a bit more useful on defense.
I don't like the hanging back, and also like I think you could, or the reverse of that is, would you be willing to play differently because he got strength up? So would you actually start using him a bit more forward?
Maybe
even getting get a second thrower as well.
Yeah.
But
not sure.
I like the idea of carrying on strength 4 and bringing it forward instead of rolling the dodgy throwing.
Lobbing up.
Yeah.
It's doing long passes on a 2+ normally.
I'm not a fan of rolling dice. It's still
That's
a lot
fair.
of 36s that you could just not be rolling by being in a cage and moving up the screen.
Yeah, and strength 4 in the middle of the cage is pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's fair. It's just that he doesn't have block still, which I suppose you don't want him being punched.
No.
He's less likely to be punched if he's strength 4.
Yeah,
it's true.
So I've actually started showing the clip, which is the beginning of the Khemri rat game.
Cool.
And
Blitz.
It starts with a rat blitz. So
bloody hell.
and it's a really they have kick, and they've obviously kicked it short on purpose, but it's a more or less perfect, the ball
on the LOS.
not quite, the 2 squares back, and the Khemri didn't set up very wide, so there's like one player to hit, he gets stunned by Mighty Blow, and then there's a gutter run under the ball, practically in a cage.
Yeah.
So like from this position, as Khemri, I'd be shitting my pants and expecting the game to be over. And the rats do retreat the ball and then kind of poke players forward. They actually end up only scoring on turn 4 or so. So it's not that bad because the Khemri still have time to score back. But obviously they're a touchdown behind. Which is, a bit of a problem.
Bad. Real bad.
Yeah, real bad. And then the Khemri score back in their drive, so it's 1-1 at the half. And in the second half, the reverse happens. The Khemri get a blitz, except obviously because
they're not quite as good at doing.
Yeah, and the ball's actually in 2 tackle zone, so even if you hit it, you're not going to catch it.
You're Khemri, you're not going to catch things anyway.
I mean, I'd like the Khemri.
Try.
The Khemri push a player the wrong direction. I would have tried harder to get a player underneath the ball.
Yeah.
Than they did.
Tomb Guardian went over and based the gutter runner at the front or something.
Yeah, because the gutter runners, almost a scoring threat, and it's a very. I think it might be a Khemri thing, but if he'd actually blitzed the line rat that he blitzed, but in the other direction, he could have got a player on the ball, and I think that would have given the rats a bit more trouble. As it was,
he didn't put that other throw bar underneath, next to the ball as well.
I mean, the trouble is putting a throw bar under the ball when there's a Mighty Blow tackle piling on player next to the ball.
It's the spare throw bar.
Yeah.
He's got the good one still further back. I didn't. I would have liked it next to the ball, just so that there was 2 things for him to clear off potentially. Oh, he caught it anyway.
Well, you say that he rolled a 6 for the catch. So if there had been a throw bar underneath the ball,
would have made no difference.
No, he would have caught the throw bar. Would have caught it instead of the rat.
Oh no, the throw bar couldn't get under it. I don't think.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah. The secondary one, as you mentioned, if he'd have blitzed the other direction,
Oh,
then
I was talking about blitzing from where he was and putting him next to that storm vermin.
yeah.
So there's 2 tackle zones where the ball was landing
Okay.
from what he'd done.
Yeah.
Rather than assuming he did something different.
But anyway, yeah, because the ball ends up landing on the storm vermin, the rats retreat and do a handoff, which fails, but then the ball scatters back onto the storm vermin, so they get to have the rest of their turn to disengage more. But then from that point on, the rats keep sending players forward, and the Khemri keep murdering everything that crosses the halfway line. So
that's what happened in my game against these Khemri as well. It's just like, yep, you're down, stomp on your face, he's dead.
Yeah. So there were like 7 rats removed at turn 11, and the rats kind of have to potato a little bit with a wrestle, strip, and plus movement gutter runner, who gets hit by the plus movement tomb guardian, and that's the point at which basically the drive ends for the rats. So the rats have 5 players left, and they are about to be completely surrounded by not just strength 5, but just 11 Khemri players. Actually, so no, that's not true. So there's 2 tomb guardians in the middle of the pitch, kind of, standing ready, loitering, yeah. But then everyone else on the Khemri team is within 2 or 3 squares of the ball, and the rats are more or less surrounded. I quite like this. It's clearly a 5+ dodge by a dirty player with the intention of fouling someone, which
I do that with thralls as well. Like, I'm sometimes just like, just try and dodge out to try and foul. Why not?
Wow. Going for the 5+ dodge.
Yeah.
It's not the 5+, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was a 5+ though.
Yeah.
I did also. I think in my game against the Nurgle this week, I did make a 4+3+ with a thrall without using a reroll.
Yeah.
But I wasn't even trying. I was just like, he's just going to try and get away. He doesn't really want to be punched. So
yeah. The floor doesn't have mighty blow. So
exactly. That's my life motto. The floor does not have mighty blow. So
that's why they need the concrete pitch.
That only works on GFIs.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
But
he had 2 attempts to scatter the ball there, and 2 of the 3 1-dies were skulls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which causes problems.
Indeed. Well, I mean, to be fair, there was also a dodge out. So there was there were a good 4 or 5 dice there that could have all failed, and so it's unlucky that there were 2 skulls, but they could have been a 1 on a dodge instead, or a
there could have been other fails, definitely.
And at that point, it's just try what you can. While the Khemri, go around fouling everyone. So I think at the end of this clip, there's 3 rats left on the pitch. 3, and an entire team of 4, and an entire team of Khemri still left. So as you can imagine, the Khemri wander forward and score. And it becomes 2-1 to the Khemri. With the dodge plus Agi Throw-Ra getting his 3rd level, and I'm pretty certain that's going to be Blodge.
Surely it's got to be.
Fumbling for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless he's also gone for a 2nd plus Agi.
No.
Losing to Arthur. Yeah, sorry.
I think that would be interesting.
Yeah. Agi 4 on a Khemri team is basically cheating.
I think there's one of them in Division 5.
Yeah, I mean you're saving so much by having your entire team on Agi 2, and then you've got 1 player to carry the ball. It's the dream, isn't it?
Yep. And it starts with sure hands.
Yeah. So 1 wrestle skeleton gets niggled. I assume he's dead and replaced by now.
There is no longer a wrestle skeleton.
Or there is no longer a player called Losing to Halflings.
Yeah. Well, there is. There's Losing to Halflings 1.2.
Ah, okay, there you go.
Oh, I like the number.
It's called Losing to Halflings, though, now.
He was losing to halflings before.
Oh, yeah,
was it?
He was
okay.
losing to halflings. So,
I like keeping the typo.
Yeah, or it might not be typo. It's a very
It could be.
common.
I mean, he's got pregnant ostrich as well. One of the two guardians. Prugenant.
Which is obviously
Yep.
a thing you don't want,
good.
a pregnant ostrich.
But it's not pregnant. It's prugenant.
Pregnant, which is obviously even worse.
All good.
And for this Disturbing Rat-like, they got a dead lineman and also a level up lineman. Wrestle
Dirty player,
or
surely.
dirty player? Yeah, they don't have a dirty player. And the plus
Let me have a
movement
look.
is out of the game as well, which is probably good news for whoever they're facing.
He's MNG'd, yeah.
Yeah, MNG.
The lineman, he did get dirty player. Assuming it's extra spare rat.
Yeah,
It
extra
is
spare
indeed.
rat.
He's no longer a spare rat.
I mean, he's
There is
not-
also spare rat. There's spare rat and extra spare rat.
Yeah.
There's just a rat, plain rat, another rat, a replacement rat, and an ordinary rat.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I like the naming scheme, I've got to admit.
Yeah.
It is amusing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Violent rat and punchy rat being the two storm vermin.
Yeah,
And we see-
I
dodgier.
say on the tin.
He hasn't got dodgy rat. He's only got dodgier rat.
I mean, the annoying thing is Speedy Rat isn't the plus movement one. Speedy
Yeah,
Rat, Speedy
it's
Rat
the
is the
edgy
dodgy,
one.
is the edgy one.
Maybe Dodgy Rat died. Yeah, Dodgy Rat, the original one, died. So you got replaced with Dodgier Rat.
But quick rat is the plus movement one. So
Punching Bag Rat got an armor down. Unfriendly Rat died. He was a blitzer.
I was gonna say that sounds like a bit.
And really big Rat died as well.
was that a storm vermin? I mean, Roger, Rat Ogre.
Yep, that was indeed
A
a rogue.
rogue.
Yeah. All right, and predictions wise, I got it right, and XCam got it right. Yay! 2 people.
I think I did not.
No,
No.
just me and XCam. Which puts XCam on 16 with Mr. Mojo.
I keep voting for these rats, and they keep not doing it. So I'm not going to vote for the next game.
No. Okay, last game. We're there. We finally made it to the last game, and
Bloody hell.
it is the Necro against the Pro Elves. Now, what happened? Oh yeah, so it was a high kick, and the first block of the game is the white punching a block Pro Elf and getting a kill. So instant death for the Pro Elves. And I think they
Wow.
only had 11 players for this game. They might have had 12.
Yeah.
No, 11. No, they had 12. They did have 12. But Edgar the Atheling instantly died. Turn 1.
Did he get appoed or?
Nope. No Apo for lineman on a Pro Elf team. You kidding?
I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a lineman. To be fair.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
at
yeah.
the number of Agi 5s.
Yeah. I mean, well, you say that. So the next clip
Yeah.
I have is the cage has been formed. The werewolf who's strength 4 has it, surrounded by guard, and the Pro Elves go for a blitz with their niggled plus Agi blitzer, who rolls a 1 on the GFI, and which gets re-rolled, and then rolls double skulls. So and then Kazes himself.
That's 2 highly level pro.
For an
blitz that
AV
I've seen
down,
die
right?
on turn 1
For,
now.
yes, that is the AV down. So niggled and AV down. I assume even a Pro Elf.
Not been fired yet.
He's not been fired yet.
He's missing a game, so he's got time to consider it, I suppose.
Niggled and I mean just
He's still armor 7.
yeah, he's niggled.
It
armor
is
7,
it is normal armor, so
Yeah.
it's like keeping a niggled lineman basically.
And basically every
It's
Pro Elf
true.
team has an armor 7 blitzer, but armor 7 and niggled is
Yeah, it's not great.
a step further than I would choose to keep them.
Yeah, I don't keep thralls when
fair.
they get niggled, but that's because I roll extra injuries on them.
Well, to be fair, your thralls also only cost
40k.
40k.
Yeah.
And whereas this blitzer costs 190k of blodge, sidestep, agi, tackle.
Yeah, to be fair, he's not that likely to go down all the time, but yeah.
You say that, people always roll pals. It's really annoying.
Yeah, true. I mean, I know. I have blodge step players.
Yeah. You
like,
feel
yeah.
the pain.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, I've got blodge. I must be fine. Oh no, they've rolled another power. Damn it! Why?
So basically, this game was fairly straightforward in that the plus, which is I think exactly what I said last week, the plus strength werewolf carried the ball and was surrounded by guard entire game, and the pro elves never really got more than one or usually a red dice against on him, and actually Sigrade did really well. Sigrade, am I saying that right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Did really well at like making sure that that he was, playing really defensively around the plus strength werewolf, and didn't give any hits away. Scored turn 8 with quite a good control, and here we have the last clip which shows Necro getting a blitz. Now the blitz doesn't really help that much.
It's moved the wolf into the backfield a bit.
Yeah, it has.
And
In
sealed
fact,
off that side.
if anything, that made it worse because the wolf would have been a lot more effective at
Yeah,
separating the ball from the elves than the actual
it's fair.
what actually happens. And also, the pro elves make a few mistakes here. They dodge through a double tackle zone rather than a single tackle zone, which they could have done if they'd have just gone diagonally one square. So you'll see in a second in the clip, they dodge through double tackle zones where that ghoul and the werewolf are, and the first one is fine. He's blitzing. It kind of makes sense. You want to take as shorter route as possible, but the second one goes the same route and could have been dodging into behind where the werewolf is for a better dodge, but they aren't punished, so it's fine.
I was gonna say, it's not punished. Yeah.
Did part of GFI though.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. The plus strength plus agi vampire werewolf is only 2 SVP away from level 5. Sorry, level 6. What do you think? He's blodge plus and plus agi plus strength.
I'd like
What
to
do you
see
think for his
tackle,
level?
I think.
I assume.
Probably.
I mean, obviously mighty blow would be amazing.
It could also be sure hands because he has no sure hands.
No, I wouldn't want that on him.
Yeah,
the ghoul's got wrestle, so it's not a ball carrier ghoul.
He has had ghouls before who have, hasn't he? I think he has.
Have a quick look.
Yeah, who have been heading in that direction, I think.
No, he's never had sure hands.
Oh no, you're right. He had a blodge plus agi ghoul, but who died.
Yep, and a wrestle tackle one.
Yeah.
He's got a wrestle one right now, which is not going to get sure hands because wrestle is not what you want on a ball carrier.
No.
But he's also missing a ghoul. I assume at some point
he is missing a ghoul.
He's going to buy one.
So he's got enough money. He could buy one right now. In fact, he hasn't got anything else to buy. So get on that. Buy that ghoul.
Maybe it depends on who he's facing. He's waiting for the right matchup to
try and level him.
Yeah, to pick him.
I would rather save the money when he's only on 110, just in case something important dies.
Yeah, I guess.
And
who's he playing
then
this week?
Once he goes over 150k,
this
then
week,
buy the ghoul.
He's playing orcs, so yeah, I guess you could say hold off on it for this week.
Or wait, no, isn't he already so far ahead of the orc? Is that Disco Dave's orcs? He's already so much above the orcs already. Maybe now is the time to buy the ghoul because you're giving away inducements. The extra 70 is not going to make that much difference. Having played Kislev, that's become my logic more often than it used to be. But two level ups.
Disco Dave takes the thing, he's 110k up.
He has to take a level, so yeah.
If he takes the agility, he's 110k up. If he takes a normal, he's 130.
Yeah, but doesn't Dave have a bank at the moment?
No, he wouldn't be 130. With a normal, he'd be 110.
But hasn't he also got a bank of 180 or something at the moment? So.
Oh, he does, yeah. So if he spends his bank, then he'll.
Oh yeah, true.
But he'd be 110 below.
Okay, we haven't got to next week.
Let's
Let's finish this quickly, and then we can talk about next week. and we'll try and get through them a little bit faster because we're already on 2 hours and 15 minutes. So, 2 level ups for Barkengrad, both zombies, both guard. One already has block, one does not. I assume the one without block gets block.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the one who's got block gets fend.
Yeah. I mean, that is what it is.
I don't
But
hate that,
what,
yeah.
what would you do? You think of anything better? I don't know.
No, there isn't. There, basically, block fend is the zombie.
Yeah.
Only two choices for general, right? There's not really much else you want in general, is there?
Yeah, not really.
I mean, maybe kick.
Yeah. But then he'd have to not be on the line. If you want him on the line.
Fend for a guarder is nice. He's going to live a bit longer.
Yeah.
He gets to disengage maybe occasionally when people are blocking the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not
true.
terrible.
I didn't think about that. I could take Fend on my Blodge Stepper.
Yeah, of
My
course.
Blodge Step Vampire.
Blodge Step Fend is a nice combination.
It's really irritating.
Yeah.
Really irritating.
Really irritating. I would go for tackle on that on Saxon next level. I can't think of anything else you want except obviously Mighty Blow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I might even consider recycling Kenzie the Third fairly rapidly. Like second level isn't a double recycle.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't mention is with 2 stand firm on the line and a lot of guard, the Necro were almost impossible to one turn against. It was I've never seen an anti one turn like setup that looked so effective to me. He basically had the 2 stand firms on either side, guard in the middle, a line of 3 players behind with guard. So the Pro Elves had to dodge into 4 tackle zones and then red dice to get a push to get even close for one turn, and they didn't even manage the catch before that happened. Oh no, they re-rolled the catch, so didn't have a re-roll for the red dice, so they got both down, and that was it. Actually, I say it was really good, but I did see a way to improve it, which was if they'd have moved the wings in closer, then it would have been 5 tackle zones to dodge into.
Yeah, it'll be even better once he gets stand firm on one of the whites.
Yeah, or even
stand firm on one of the zombies.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. That guard block one got it. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Because he's surely going to go guard.
Would you, if that zombie, if June rolled another double, would you take stand firm, or would you not because he's already got fend?
No, stand firm and fend is still nice. You still get the choice. It's like a weird semi-sidestep thing where you get to choose to stand firm or fend away. So it gives you more things for your opponents to have to think about in one move.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
You are controlling their movement more, basically.
Yeah.
And to forget about, no doubt.
But you could also take dodge.
To be fair, in the Nurgle game, I forgot that the beast had stand firm at one point. I could have. So it was at one point where I chain pushed to push. I could push the beast away or the ball carrier away, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just push the beast away," and then I forgot it had stand firm, so I then had to make a dodge with tentacles.
Yeah.
I should have just pushed my sidestep vampire away, but yeah.
So X-Cam's lost the movement and also that Niggle armor bust combination.
Yeah.
Which is not great. And a dead wrestle lineman, but Pro Elves.
More importantly, I lost my prediction.
Yes. In fact, only 2 people.
Wait, hang on.
Only 2 people predicted correctly, and that was Mr. Mojo Rising and me. So me and Mr. Mojo get a point. Hooray! And both this game and the last game, I think, were some of the early games. So I saw them as like, yay, I've done really well. And actually, I didn't do that well. The only 2 games I did.
Wait, wasn't this the last game that got played? Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
it was the last game. Right, fine. Whatever.
Excellent. How dare you know what's going on inside your own division?
Yeah. And Mr. Mojo Rising is... I really need to do this in a better way than I currently have it. There we go. Oh, that puts him out in the front with 17 points. And I'm still...
I don't know if you could do it via like an Excel sheet or something that
You can do it by an Excel sheet, but I haven't bothered sorting all that out. What I'd like, what I'm thinking about doing is I've been planning to do some like bot stuff to make my life easier anyway, and I could combine I could make it so the bot reports give me the score for this, like somehow, which might be interesting. So I know a bit, but not enough, and this would be good practice.
Oh, I'm sure you could ask someone from main Rebel.
Yeah.
Lots of people know, I think. That's Major Bite.
Oh, that's weird. So you said it's rolled, but when I look in the division, Grinch was still showing us not played.
What?
It wasn't on mine.
It is on mine now. It's
Maybe I need to go. I've gone out of the division and I'm going to go back in and see if that changes it.
Yeah.
It has definitely rolled.
Yeah, there we are. Oh, it's fine. Yeah. But obviously, it had kept the standings from when I looked at it before or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that is all the games played, which took the longest we've ever taken to look through the set of
Sorry.
Set of civics.
Probably my fault.
It can't be your fault. It's not like we're the Anyway, yeah. We need
Not normally
this
the
is the
quickest at
anti-speed cap, isn't it? We need to kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should call it the anti-speed cap. And that puts the.
Will that make us slower?
Not like it makes it sound like we're trying to be slower, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes it seem intentional.
And the standings, XCAM still in the lead, even though he lost. Barkengrad's 2 points behind.
It's closed in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, Sparkengrad's 2 points behind.
With Kamazima.
The Camry. Yep.
I was very briefly in third.
Yeah.
Before Kevin Zimmer played.
Oh, that's why you know how the order of
count.
them. And then you and Eldarin are both at 1 more point behind them, so still ridiculously close. And in fact, Mr. Mojo Rising is 1 point behind that, and the Goblins,
Sniffy,
amazingly,
Flying
are
Turtle,
7th.
and Dave
That's
are 1 point behind that.
yeah, but Goblins being 7th or even equal 7th is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Up there with Zons and Orcs. And then Malekith Kink are doing quite well, but 2 points further behind. And then Grand Drake's doing surprisingly badly considering his team.
Yep.
And Nurgle getting too many draws and no wins.
Then they lost those players, and it made it a lot more difficult for them.
Yeah. And this week, the Nurgle will finally get that first win of the season because they have their admin game.
Yeah, I think some of those teams have had admin games as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had my admin game yet.
Just saying.
Mine's next week.
Yeah.
Nice week off at some point.
It's next week for me.
Yeah. So extra money as well, I think you get from that.
Yeah, you do. You get 2 lots of money.
Yeah.
Not that I really need it. I don't need to replace anyone right now, but
Upgrade the stadium.
I've already done that.
Further.
I could upgrade it further, yeah.
There's always more levels.
There isn't always more levels. There's a point you get level 4, Just saying.
No one gets to level 4.
I got elf turf for my vampires. I wasn't sure what exactly
I think
to get.
you've got the squig sandwich at the moment, haven't
Have
you?
I? Sorry, no, I didn't. Oh, sorry. It was between the squig sandwich and the elf turf, and I went for the squig sandwich. That was it. Yeah.
Elf turf for looks, and squig sandwich because you don't like rocks. Is that the right one? Yeah.
That is the one.
Yeah. All right.
You can get a level 3 stadium, make it shinier.
And also, it stops get the ref as well, which means less people are going to be stumping on my vampires.
Yeah. Reasonable one. I like cancelling pitch invasions still, personally. But...
Yeah, I mean, that's also a good one, but I think the cancelling throw a rock and the bribes is better for me.
No, that's definitely fair. I find that if someone's got the don't cancel a throw a rock stadium, every time they play away, they get a rock thrown at them.
That's true.
It feels like it anyway, or you just notice it more.
Yeah.
Well, there is that thing of people who are choosing the rock cancelling stadium are hyper aware of rocks and care about it, right? So, that's why they notice it more.
And if you know that they've got a rock stadium, then you pay more attention to the fact that, in my stadium, my crowd decided to throw a rock at you.
I feel like I almost never get rocked. I don't ever choose
Why
it
would
as a
you
stadium.
say that?
Just
why would you say that?
Well, what I always do say is I like the fact rocks exist. I think it's bad. I don't like the the eternal bit of Rebel. I don't like the fact that players can live forever. I don't like having a player that, if you try hard and you protect your player and you appo him all the time and you look after him, anyone can keep a player to get to legend, and I don't like that. I think there should be churn, and rocks are part of the random death of anyone who's on the pitch, and I like that.
True.
I don't mind that one. I don't like pitch invasion.
The worst is people who have one-turners where the one-turner never goes on the pitch except for when he's one-turning. And I think rocks should have double the chance of hitting someone who hasn't been on the pitch until that drive
That just means it's going to hit line wraps and subs.
Well, that's fine. No one cares about line wraps and subs if that's what's happening.
It's gonna hit my unskilled thralls.
Yeah, if that's the case, that's fine.
Unskilled people or this massively expensive player.
Yes, I think that's brilliant. I'm fine with that. You should not be allowed to keep a player off pitch and then just win games with him all the time.
But how would that mechanic actually work, though? Is it just they haven't been on the pitch yet, or is it they were off the pitch last drive?
I guess it wouldn't work. I literally only just thought about it. No. It's not a serious thing. It's a hatred of one-turners not being on the pitch except for one-turning and
I thought
winning games.
Ramosset with his one-turner last season.
I played him last season. Yeah, I think it's cheating.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I thought you beat him anyway.
Oh yeah, I murdered him. Absolutely ruined him.
Yeah.
But that was dice. That wasn't.
Lev.
That was me getting like 3 removals on the LOS in the first turn, and then carrying on with that. I had 3 Mighty Blow and one Palmer, and got 3 Kaz to start with, and he only had 12 players, and I had a dirty player and was fouling continuously.
Yeah,
it was great.
I need to foul more with my dirty player, but I kind of want him for the block now as well because he's got block.
I mean, I think Ramosset ended up with like 2 or 3 players left on the pitch, but one of them was the one-turner who was just staying as far away from everyone else as humanly possible.
5 KOs, 5 casuals. Yeah, so not many players left.
Yeah, and you only had 11 or 12 or something. Anyway, whatever.
Yep.
We're on
the only player I ever keep off the
predictions.
Pitch is my kicker, because you don't need it. I'm not taking it because he's strict 2 on my offense.
Yeah, for obvious reasons.
Makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, actually, maybe this idea of who stays off means that the slightly niggled, damaged players who stay off for a drive are more likely to absorb your rocks.
To die. Yeah.
Which, not a bad thing.
I think
so the mechanic would be.
Oh no.
Well, double the chance for anyone who's not been on the pitch, and if they get hit, upgrade whatever their injury is by 1.
Oh, come on.
What?
So a stun becomes a KO becomes a Kaz becomes a death.
No.
More removals, please.
You're pretty much just punishing
20% chance for the player to die.
I am fine with that.
It's only ones really, because Skaven, they're still going to have a bunch of line rats on the side as well.
I mean, maybe
diluting that chance, so you're literally just doing it to punish wood elves and high elves and pro elves.
Fine. I told you it wasn't well thought out, but
rough.
Whatever.
Gosh.
But anyway, yeah. So I like rocks. I like the random death element. Let's get on with the guessing of next week. So I'm showing the Spikebot page, and after the admin game, we have Eldarin's Druidichy Violets against Mikkolas's Chaos Black Nightmares.
Well, I'm voting for the Dark Elves.
Yeah. Oh, someone actually
went for a draw.
You went for a draw because you feel guilty with everyone always picking not Mikkolas.
Well, you just said that Mikkolas has improved his play.
True, yeah.
He's picking up a bit. He may not be in the best place to beat the Druidichy Violets, but I'll take a punt. If I get it right, then I'll be the only one that does.
That's true.
Yeah.
You should get bonus points if you're the only one who gets it right.
This is why this rock idea is not working, because it's a bit complicated.
We're just making it up straight away.
It sounds like the rules that my 9-year-old make whenever he starts playing a game. Oh yeah, and for that you get double. Anyway, sorry. Randomly.
So what? 17, 20, so he'll be able to get lewd gripping a babe.
Is Ludwig really that cheap? I suppose he
It's
is.
150, I think.
Yeah, 150. Yeah.
Yeah, lewd gripping a babe.
And
Why
on
not?
He's pretty bad.
on tabletop, he's got dodge now, so he's even better, and he's still pretty
Oh.
cheap. Yeah. I actually don't even dislike Lewd Grip because he's AV9, so even though he's only he's 6'3", 3'9", sure hands, he's a player to hold onto the ball and get lightning bolted
And
or
dodge.
punched. Does he have dodge now, or did he have dodge?
I thought you said on tabletop.
Yeah, he's got it on
I
tabletop
don't
now.
think
Yeah.
he has
Yeah.
dodge
No, he
in
doesn't have
Bubble
it.
2.
No, he's got tents.
He just has some throwing skills.
Yeah,
He's got tentacles, so you can keep people near him, maybe.
yeah, tentacles.
It's not very likely.
No.
On the
Nope.
same strength as you, it's a 6+ to avoid it.
Yeah.
On 2d6.
And he's potentially got the ball, so
On another stream, we were talking about what weird game mechanic we'd like to see in a team, and I was saying I'd like to see low strength tentacles. So it's not really like overpowering, but everyone's got tentacles, so it makes like when you're doing lots of dodging away from people, it makes it a lot harder.
So, what
Yeah,
you're saying is it's going to be a weird Slanesh
It's going to be a weird. It's actually it was an idea for a stunt. It was a stunty team, so strength 2 tentacles, but like sidestep as well. So you're kind of dodging away
That'd
or
be quite
failing.
fun.
Yeah. Anyway.
moving on,
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go for Eldarin.
maybe.
Even with Tentacle Boy.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay. No. Oh, next is actually an interesting one. So we've got Malekith Kink against Thing You Do Not Want, and wow. So 4 of you have already gone for Things
Well,
You Do Not Want.
3, yeah.
3. Yep. Sorry. And the bot
Yep.
thinks the Camry are going to win as well. And
the bot thinks everyone will win.
the
The bot
bot-
is incredibly wholesome. It thinks everyone will win.
It's the bot
No,
is
it doesn't.
terrible. It's awful.
So it's Rob, Top, me, and Spoon
Yeah.
have gone for Cameron Zimmer so far. He's just been doing really well recently, I think, and I've voted against him a couple of weeks in a row and been
wrong.
proven wrong.
So
I wanted to vote for Cameron Zimmer last week and didn't because he hadn't taken his levels. He's taken his levels this week, so I can vote for him again.
Hooray.
Reasons.
and he's now got Blood Judgy 3, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, Lude's Grip's got strong arm as well. How did we forget strong arm?
Yeah, his throwing skills.
I said he has a bunch of passing skills and
Yeah.
tentacles.
Fair enough.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
There.
Pass and strong arm.
Strong
So
arm.
he's 1 in 9ing at quite a lot of different distances, but he's still 1 in 9ing.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, as soon as you get to a long pass, then he's not 1-in-9ing. He's
I mean, that's
75%.
yeah, that's a
75.
whole
1
6
in
squares
4.
away. You know, how often do you throw that far?
Yeah.
And who are you throwing to
what's
when you're
that?
chaos as well?
Extra
You'll
arm
catch
guy, I'm
Beastman?
guessing.
Okay, I am going to go for Malekith King, not just because you've all gone for the other side, but I think this is one where there's quite a lot of movement and agility on these Dark Elves, and they're low TV, and they've got a bench, which means they can run around
That's
Camry and successfully score and be annoying.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're not low TV though.
I mean, they're the same.
They're only going to get a babe. That's it.
Yeah, but that's Camry are usually low TV, right? Camry
True.
Camry are 1790 is. I mean, I guess it's not low TV in this division at all, actually, but.
No.
But yeah,
I think it's once they get a bit higher.
let's
they
call it
really
medium
struggle.
TV then. Maybe I was slightly, exaggerating. Okay, so the next one is Disco Dave against Barkengrad.
Yep.
Orcs against Necro.
I went for the draw.
I've gone for Barkengrad.
It's Barkengard.
Guard,
Well,
yeah.
by the way.
I literally just read that. I'm just gonna keep quiet.
Yeah.
Nope. Fair enough. Good work.
You guys have been calling it Barkengrad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's,
all season.
it's probably me. It's probably me that started it as well.
I'm gonna blame Coordinate.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but I don't know. It could go either way, and I'm just gonna go. It could be like a 2-2 draw, even maybe.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm gonna go Barkan Guard as well.
Ooh. Oh, that's definitely not happening now if we've both gone for it. We're
proper
sorry, Sigrave.
proper
We've
caster's
cursed you
curse. Yeah.
fully.
he was second, and then they started picking him. It's just I don't know what happened.
I had to stop picking the rat team in my division, and as soon as I did it, he actually won his first game.
Oh, there you go.
Now I've been told I've got to keep on not voting for him.
Yeah. The rules.
Oh.
Hey, Necromantic Rob. Just in time for us to vote for you, and therefore completely make it impossible for you to win your game against Disco Dave.
What?
No, Necromantic Rob plays.
Necromantic not plays the Zons.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. The word Necromantic.
Yep.
Necromantic Rob.
I did
Zon
that as
Rob.
well, to be fair,
Damn
but-
you.
Yep.
If only in your own stream you should be able to. Hey, Badger, 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 mushroom. Sorry.
I haven't heard that for so many years.
He's in
I remember-
he's in OCC, and I basically say that every time. Maybe not always that emphatically, but you know.
It's because we're going mad because this has been going on for
Yes.
2.5 hours.
We have exceeded 2.5 hours. It is now 2 hours
Yep.
and 36 minutes. I have a feeling. So on Saturday I did 4 recaps in a row, and
Yep.
Are you trying to one up my 4 recaps in a row with just an 8-hour recap? Is that your plan?
Oh god, no. I've got work in the morning. I can't be doing that.
There it is, 5 in the morning, blathering on about. Anyway, sorry. So concentrate.
Yep.
Yes, there is a VOD up from this
Well,
for
it
3
would say
hours
3
ago.
hours. It's more than 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Only just. Anyway, my computer's probably going to run out of hard drive space soon. In fact, that is a real problem that might happen.
At least it'll be up on Twitch. So.
Yeah.
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 So
But yeah,
Bootleg Stars and XCam.
Yes. So the Pro Elves.
It really thinks the goblins are going to win here. The bot.
No,
No, that's the other way.
it's the other way around.
Oh, it's the other way.
Lower numbers better. Yeah, it's odds. So you know,
I see.
1 to 1 is 100%. So 1 is 100% win, and 2 is a 50-50. Yeah. So a 3-point.
Probably asks, is he going to have to watch 2 of these a week?
What? Which?
Poppy says, what OCC Div 5 do you do, and am I going to have to watch 2 of these a week? Followed by some sort of swearing.
So the OCC one is a lunchtime one on Wednesdays that I do with Ethelred, and we do 2A, which is my division, and his division, which is 3B, and we're not quite this long, and we don't do clips for that. Although we do clips, but only of deaths from dwarves. So dwarves who die. We have a dwarf watch at the end of each show, which starts with the I Ho theme tune, and then whoever's dead. Because Ethelred doesn't like dwarves, to balance out my hatred of Zons. We're like the yin and yang of hatred of one-dimensional races.
Everyone hates Zons, it's fine.
Yeah, good. Except for Rob, who specifically says Zons rock, just to irritate me. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
we were doing goblins versus pro elves.
Yeah.
I think the pro elves are going to win. To be honest, they're just faster.
Mr. Majorison has actually gone for the goblins, and
nice. I've gone for the draw.
I can see a world in which so the pro elves are 1540, right?
Yep. Plus some loners probably.
Oh.
I don't think they actually have any loners. I think they have.
Yeah, they have 1 loner. But 1540 is the loner value.
Oh right, okay.
1550.
Oh yeah, 60. Yes, you're right. They're not 50, they're 60. Sorry, I always do that. Yes. Whereas Flying Turtle is 100 behind, and he's at home, so he has the Nuffle Altar, and he has 15 players. So he could be getting a bribe.
But they are 15 goblins. Oh, sorry, 13 goblins.
But 13 goblins, a jump up, one of whom is a jump up chainsaw and a block ball and chain.
Yep.
And he's playing
True.
really well. Although X-Cam is leading the division, so I guess he's not playing too badly himself.
The X-Cam's been playing pretty good.
But
Yeah.
the way that goblins win is by removing players, and pro elves have a real issue with having all their players removed when they only have 11.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I'm willing.
I think I'm still gonna stay with the.
I'm willing to
but-
risk a punt on the goblins because the value of it is worth
Quite
so
fun.
much. Yeah. If so, I'm getting 3 times my vote. Yeah, we should do a not just how many. You don't just get 1 point for winning. You should get a multiple of the.
No.
Okay, if I write a bot that actually does this for us, then it's going to include the bot's
That's fair.
scoring in there. Just saying. All right. Anyway, moving not so swiftly on.
Oh, God.
The Chicago Bullshit against Disturbingly Rat-like. The Rats are favoured by the rather silly bot.
Yep.
I don't think they should be. I'm going to go for Mr. Majorison.
I also went for Mr. Majorison, yeah.
I went for the rats this time.
I'm just double checking to see how many rats there are.
I lost my faith in the rat.
Yeah. He's due a decent game where things fall in his favour.
Stupid probably say.
Maybe.
Oh,
I haven't actually watched his games, so
If you
I'm doing
remove
a
at
lot of
least
this on luck.
9, he'll win.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Is
mean,
Stupid Puppy the goblins?
I don't think so.
Right.
Wait, Stupid Puppy.
I think Shippy is Flying Turtle.
You're Flying Turtle. Oh, okay.
Is he?
I always get
Hasn't
yeah.
said yet.
Possibly.
These
yeah.
people who use 2 names confuse me. So I'm I'm like literally core knight everywhere that I exist online. It's just
I try to be super everywhere.
Yeah.
Some places I'm not.
Anyway, not quite as bad as the people who use their real name online. Like
Disco Dave.
I was thinking more like Andy Davo, who's giving you his first name
Oh,
and surname.
yeah.
But, you know.
Well, you don't know. Disco Dave could actually be called Dave Disco
Yeah,
normally.
yeah,
It's
that's
just
true.
the other way around.
That's true. Is Disco Dave actually an 80s DJ? Is the question.
I hope so. We all hope so now.
Yeah.
Now it's gone out there. Everybody's hoping that.
But yes, I'm going to go for the goblins because I don't think you need to remove 9 of them. Oh wait, what?
Wrong one.
So we're on.
So, yeah, we're on
the Kislev.
Sorry, it was Stupid
Is
Puppy
that-
talking about.
Yeah, if he removes 9 of the pro helps, he'll win.
Yes, there we go. So Mr. Majorison though. I'm going to go for Mr. Majorison because I said it already. 12.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay, rats.
I voted for the rats the last 2 games and they've lost my faith.
He's lost the movement 10 crutch for this game, so he'll be forced to play better.
I mean, rats are not that easy for Kislev, but
Yeah.
especially rats with claw.
Yeah.
Claw doesn't do tons against Kislev.
No, Kislev are no. It does do. Kislev are not. Kislev are very susceptible to claw. They have lots of players who.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So you get and you get a few removals, and you're removing good players very rapidly.
True. Yeah.
But Majorison and also the rats are going to have a wizard, right?
Potentially.
I mean, Majorison has a. I'm going to use that name even though it's wrong. Has 1730.
I like Majorison still.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. But yeah, it is Mojo Rising.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're blatantly wrong. We've been told we're wrong. Now.
But Mojo Rising, it's too trying to be cool. Mr. Majorison sounds like an actual name, rather than
yeah.
Anyway, fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
It feels more natural saying it.
12 rats.
It'd be like talking to Jimmy Fantastic and calling him Fantastic all the time. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I'd have to call him Jimmy Fantastique or something.
Jimmy F.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, F.
Yes, I've already gone for Chicago Bolshoi. That's what I'm sticking with.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
I voted for myself because why not?
Obviously.
In the last one. Yep.
Yeah. Although
I'm not allowed to vote for the person that's come on with us, and I can't bring myself to vote for Amazon, so I've gone for a draw.
so far it's 3 for everything. Oh, sorry, 2 for everything.
Yep.
This is it a tough one?
I would probably normally vote for Supra. Yeah.
Your Mighty Blow player has tackle, right?
Yeah.
But he's your only tackle.
No, I've got the wrestle tackle strength up throw.
Oh yeah. But they also have 3+ agility and 2+ strength.
Yep.
Yeah, they have the same stats as me. One of my,
Well.
2 of my plus addies are on someone with no skills at all.
But then
well,
again,
apart from he is strength 4 as well, so
I'm gonna go for the Vamps as well. Actually,
hooray!
I think the Vamps will win.
Oh, the Amazon's gonna get a wizard.
You'd have a tackle target.
The Amazons get 250 TV of inducements.
Yeah.
What can Zons get? They can get like some of the lizard stars, can't they?
They could get Zara.
Yeah. Zara. Yeah. Stakes against vampires. That's what.
But
you
isn't
should
Zara?
do.
Doesn't Zara have secret weapon though? So
No,
isn't
no. Stakes.
She's just
Stakes
got
don't
Mighty
count.
Blow Stab.
It's against undead. It's good.
Does that actually work against thralls, or is it just?
Yep.
Is it? It is.
Works
I
against-
don't know about that.
Works against thralls. Yes, it does.
Does it? Oh
Yep.
wow.
It works against every player who plays for one of the 4 dead teams. So Necro.
Necromantic Rob is saying Zara laughing or Wisdom and Bribe.
Yeah. I mean, Zara is also AV8, so that kind of adds to your reasons for taking her as well. Against
Strength
almost
4, Agi 4 as well, isn't she? I think.
Yeah. I
Nah,
mean,
she's Agi 3.
Agi
But
3.
I think she is strength 4.
Agi
yeah,
3.
she's strength 4. Yeah. But the wizard's strong against vamps. You know.
But Supra's got used to playing against the wizard now. It's
Yeah.
happening so often.
It's every game, pretty much.
Is it say might as well get the wizard stadium type, getting wizarded that much type
Yeah.
thing?
Possibly, but I've already bought one, but maybe I'll rebuy it.
But yeah, no, I think you're gonna win. Let's leave it at that. But yeah,
Chef is good too.
Chef is good, but that's spending 50 TV for the chance that
Yeah.
Chef is good. Chef, did I? Oh yeah, I suggested Chef.
You said he should get a chef last week,
Yeah.
but he didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Zara.
Were
is
you serious when
7.
you said you didn't like the Chef, or were you semi going? Oh,
No, I don't. I legit don't like chefs.
Yeah.
Like against me, it is actually kind of good, but it can also be trash when you just roll. You don't roll anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of
You
variation.
spend 300k on nothing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of variation on chefs, but removing rerolls from vampires is golden. So yeah.
Wow.
Apart from if you just like get extra rerolls and kick off, like I did last game.
Well, so yeah, my vamp team also have cheerleaders and.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm bloated enough already that it wouldn't worry about an extra 20k for one of each, but.
Yeah, I mean that's the point.
Fair.
You know, yeah, it's worth it to really, lock in those kickoff event rerolls, or at least give you a chance of both of you sharing it, or
Yeah.
your fan factor is pretty high as well, so you're probably going to be.
Yeah, I've got 11.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's great. It's a sign of winning, isn't it? No, seriously, usually.
My stats, I have 11, 5, and 26 with this team.
It's a
Oh.
sign of winning recently.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
It's a better way of putting it then.
Or rolling very, very high when you do win.
Yeah, or not losing them when you lose as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rolling
Yeah,
low when you lose. Is it? I
No,
can't
rolling high when you lose, because you have to.
Ah.
It's relative to what your fan factor is now, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I lose now, on 3d6 I have to get above 11 to keep my fan
Oh.
factor.
Fair enough.
And if you draw, if you go above, you gain 1. If you go below, you lose 1.
Fair.
I haven't got a lot of draws, which.
mhm.
So stakes that isn't Mighty Blow quite. It only adds to the armor roll. Didn't realise that.
No, stakes definitely adds to both.
Is
I'm
it?
on her at the moment.
It definitely
It's just
adds to
armor.
both.
He adds one to armor.
Yeah, it only adds one to armor.
It
Not
100% adds it to injury. It should add it to injury. It's
Oh.
mighty blow for stakes.
Then they might just have
I
the
always
tooltip
thought
wrong.
it was just.
Where can
I thought it was just armor, but maybe I'm wrong.
Fair enough.
I will check. I'm legit 100% certain
Interested
it's
in
plus one
now.
because, like, I wouldn't take it if it was just an armor plus. I don't think it's like chainsaws. Chainsaws are not that great because they don't add to injuries, right?
Yeah.
I have CRP here, so I'm gonna check that version.
Let's see.
so the-
Zara the Slayer.
The last thing to answer before we stop.
Oh shit, you're right. It is just armor roll. Nope.
It is
I'm
just
sorry.
armor, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
was wrong.
Cyanide was right this time.
I don't like stakes that much then.
I mean,
Fair enough.
it's good. you get through a thrall on a 7+. Which, as we said, is 58% of the time.
But then that's not as great as actually mighty blowing someone.
No.
Oh, interesting.
Well, true, but you do have to get them down, so.
Yeah. I need to remember that.
Shall we wrap up?
Okay, sorry. Okay, fine. So
As we're almost pushing 3 hours now.
yes, it's
Yeah.
time. It's time to finish and time to host someone. Do either of you, does anyone have a preference over Lex Inno-Kenti, who's got one viewer and is doing a Rebel Rookie League Upstarts game, or Hubster, who's doing a Rebel Rookie League College Euro Divs recap, or
Hubster's my co-presenter.
Hubster's your co-presenter. Okay, he's been streaming a lot recently. He's going hard on the streaming, I think.
He is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Has
I'm good.
been-
Go on. He has been.
Yeah, he has been just going really hard on it.
Yeah.
He's been casting his games. He's been casting a couple of different recap bits as well.
Cool. All right. Well,
Yeah.
unless any of you have anything else you want to talk about to like drag this out to we hit the 3 hour mark.
I don't think I could. No.
I think we're done.
I think it goes on.
It's
when
straight
we
away.
Stop Necromantic
Like,
Rob.
it's already on Twitch. You could look on Twitch now while we're
Yeah, you can
doing
actually
it.
see the video. It already gets put
Yeah.
up. Like,
Yeah,
you can watch the
Badger
video
was
while it's still
complaining
being
at us.
streamed.
If you click on my video button and then click on today, the one that started 3 hours ago, it's this video, and you can rewind it to the beginning. So there
You
you
may
go.
want to watch it in chunks.
Yeah.
'cause-
Or it might be the cause of some chunks.
Yeah.
yeah.
And we didn't normally I put the stream on like 15 to 20 minutes before we actually start talking.
We might have had 5.
Not even because I was feeling a bit rushed and late and stuff. I think we started quite rapidly.
Yeah, it was only 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, not even.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, thank you for everyone who
Okay.
watched and all that, and thank you, Supra, for joining us. It was a pleasure. And
Yeah,
when is your recap? Do you do it on a regular time or?
Well, it's supposed to be Thursdays, but sometimes, sometimes I mean probably half the time isn't on Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah. My regular Wednesday at 12:30 OCC show is almost never at 12:30 on a Wednesday. That's that's partly why I've started calling it that. It's because I
No,
find
we've
it funny.
it's well, if you wanna visit, I don't know why you would because it's not your division, but it's twitch.tv/chevtech.
Oh, that's someone I'm not following. Shit, I am gonna.
F.
Oh, yeah.
Not V. TAEK.
Okay, cool. I will add him to my follow list, and yeah, I won't say I'm gonna watch them religiously, but I will watch them at some point when there's really nothing else on.
I look forward to it.
And thank you,
Glowing
Spoon,
recommendation.
as well. Well, I don't know until I guess I will watch at least one first. But yeah, watching other people's
Makes sense.
what's it is probably like I've watched a few other people's occasionally, and I'll watch one or two usually. But your own division's definitely the best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favourite flavour of What's It? That's the question.
I mean, you know, I'm old school. There is only one flavour of What's It.
Wasn't there a spicy one at one point?
There is a spicy What's It, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there is different. There's possibly like a different cheese one as well.
You-
I don't really like them that much, but
You need to have, you know, what's his name? No, not Rand. What is it? Viking Cop.
yeah,
Viking Cop to
I
have you know, a Cheetos versus What's It.
versus What's It. Has he actually had What's It? That's the question.
Very likely, I imagine. I don't know.
It seems very plausible.
Anyway, I've already pressed the raid
Right,
button, and we're getting to the point where it's going to auto raid. So thank you, also Spoon, and thank you everyone who watched. And see you next week on what day is today? Wednesday. So Tuesday next week, right? Yeah.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Cool.
That's the one.
Okay.
Cool.
Bye.
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 I did that thing where I pressed before I said goodbye, which is kind of bad. But well.
Oh well, never mind.